Hello, I'm Scott Whitaker with Arctic Air Services. We started our business from the ground up and grew it based on the service end of the industry. We own over 50 vehicles, which we depend on every day to make our business run smoothly. We know the value and importance of offering great production and excellent service. That's why we choose Conley Buick GMC, because they provide us with the best cars and trucks and have a service department second to none. The next time you're in the market for a vehicle, I highly recommend Conley Buick GMC, where they'll treat you like family.
It's morning again in Palmetto. Today, over 1,000 people will move from other states to Florida. Jobs and industries are rebounding, and so are the housing markets. It is no better time than the present to invest in quality real estate here. A safe and friendly place for your kids to play. A thriving hometown culture immersed in historic districts like no other. A place to turn a house into a home. Palmetto proud. Matthew Guthrie and Associates Realty.
Hey guys, Chris Conley here from Conley Buick GMC. Kickoff's right around the corner. Buckle your seatbelts and hold on tight. It's time for some Tiger football.
You're watching TigerVision, presented by Conley Buick GMC. TigerVision is brought to you in part by Conley Buick GMC, Arctic Air, Heinz Law, Duet Pools, Richardson Stinson Roofing, Palmetto Bait and Tackle, Clicking Spree, Garrett Richard, Bull and Tiger Insurance, Coastal Mobile Screens, Burton Trucking, and WB3. Now let's kick it to the booth live from Harllee Stadium from Palmetto, Florida for the Clicking Spree pregame show.
We are live. Welcome to paradise here at Harllee Stadium in Palmetto, located on Florida's beautiful Sun Coast. I'm Brian Vornador, your play-by-play announcer, and I'm joined tonight by Tom Porter, the color analyst. Mr. Waylon Slaybaugh on the sideline, Steven Johnson providing stats from our Atlanta studio, and of course the world-famous, incredible production staff of TigerVision as presented by Conley Buick GMC. We should have a really great game for you tonight in this non-district matchup between the visiting Lithia Newsome Wolves and your very own Palmetto Tigers. With that, I'm going to turn over to my good friend, Mr. Tom Porter.
Thank you, Brian. We want to take this opportunity to welcome all the high school football fans that are watching here in the stadium, Harllee Stadium, from home, from out of state, and even those that follow us from beyond America. As we are getting set up for the kickoff, be sure to hit like and subscribe.
So, Tom, what happened last week with the teams?
Well, Palmetto had a good showing last week against Tampa Alonzo here at Harllee Stadium. At the halftime, we were up 17-0, and we had a weather delay. It was pretty bad weather coming in, lightning, it continued through, and they ended up canceling the game. The balance of the game may be played November the 7th, which will be interesting. They usually do those on like a Saturday or something like that to kind of get you a morning shot. The Lithia Newsome Wolves played last Friday in their opener and suffered a heartbreaking 1-point loss in a shootout in a high-scoring track meet of a game. Final score was 41-40. It was a loss to a very talented and traditionally powerful Bloomingdale team.
Yeah, Tom, let's dive right into the game tonight. Last year's 6A District 11 champion Palmetto Tigers posted a 9-2 loss record and had a nice 17-0 lead that you talked about in the opener before the stoppage of play and that terribly excruciatingly long weather delay. Now, the Tigers tonight are going to play up versus a 7A District 7 team. What we did learn from Palmetto's half game last week, Tom, let's talk about that.
Okay, we had some very good quarterback play by the young man, Matthew Hennessy. We were very impressed with that. He was very clean. The offense opened the game with no turnovers. They had very limited penalty yardage, which that's a big improvement from the last few years. Solid play on both sides of the ball. Our offensive line, we talked about them last week, how big they were and dominating. They did a good job. Defensive line was a bright spot as well. And we are blessed with a dominant kicking game this year. We've been watching this young man warm up, and he's a pretty strong leg.
Yeah, on the other side, the FHSAA 7A District 7 Lithia Newsome Wolves, they posted an 8-4 record last year. And, any team from that area is going to be fast. We've seen that. They can cover our receivers. They've got a lot of great speed. They're always going to have great kick returners. And looking at them warm up tonight, I look at the roster out there, and there are some what Keith Jackson used to call the big uglies out there. Yeah. And there's a lot of skill-looking players flying around out there on the field.
Yeah, we saw Big 66 earlier in the warm-up, and he looks to be a formidable anchor on that offensive line.
Well, Tom, it's you and I. So tonight we're going to have a little bit of fun here when it comes to rushing yardage in the first game for the Lithia Newsome Wolves. It's kind of a good news, bad news story.
Right.
The good news, the Wolves' offense had 42 rushes for 289 yards last week and a great average of 6.9 yards per carry. Generally, when you push that 300 yards rushing thing, you've got yourself a win.
That's very impressive. But the bad news is the Wolves' rushing defense allowed 380 yards on 29 carries and surrendered an eye-popping 13.1 yards per carry last week.
Thank you, Karen. And then the next thing would be the good news. The good news here, Newsome had 112 yards in the kick return game last week.
That's pretty awesome. The bad news, Newsome defense gave up 4 rushing touchdowns and 293 yards to one back on only 17 carries, which included a 70-yarder.
Well, I'm going to, again, put this one out there and lay it up for you. The Palmetto has, the good news is, there's a lot of good skilled returners out there for Newsome.
Definitely. Good for the Tigers and bad for Newsome is Palmetto has the number 1 rated kicker in the United States and posts a touchback on every single kickoff so far.
Yeah, let's talk about key players to watch tonight. Back to you, Tom.
All right. Absolutely. Junior Matthew Hennessy. He's a Manatee transfer this year, new to the Tigers. He will be the Tiger signal caller. He's 6'3", pocket passer, with a nice touch. Coach Sanders loves his approach to the game. He has some promising targets in the passing game with wide receivers and Maurice Carter and Jock Harris, who was a first-team all-area selection in 2024, had a great season. Their ability to create separation and make plays downfield will be huge, especially if Palmetto's offense wants to open things up. Up front on the line of scrimmage, and getting pressure. Up front on the defensive line, Glenn Davis and senior Dominic Rector are two big bodies who will be vital in controlling the line of scrimmage and getting pressure on Alonzo's young quarterbacks. And don't forget the committee of running backs: Keyron Jones, Shane Partridge, Preston Cooper, and Dustin Charles.
Yeah, and those Tigers really, really looked good. And we're at that point of the game here. The color guard is now taking the field. And as you know, Tom, the most important part of the broadcast tonight will be the playing of the national anthem. And you and I are going to remove our hats and stand for the national anthem. You know, Tom, there's nothing better than the band playing music live at a high school football stadium on a Friday night. And you know what? That Palmetto Tiger band sounded really good tonight.
They do. We've been to many pro games and college games, and nothing is like Friday nights. Even the best players in the NFL will tell you that there's no experience like a Friday night game in high school.
You know, Tom, let's talk about some stats that are out there, and how these two teams stack up, and what are some of the critical matchup dynamics that will define this game. We'll talk about it. The trenches, rush defense will be critical.
Right. So Palmetto's defense, with Paul Moore, linebacker, Palmetto defense. The defense has always been a big focus. Last year's defense was they kind of struggled at times, and this year they've under the new leadership have really developed into a much more solid unit. We're looking for them to be able to shut down. Obviously, with the stats we gave you earlier, the running game from Newsome here is going to be pretty substantial. They do have some great receivers, but from everything we saw last week, they're going to be running that ball, and it's going to fall on that defensive line and our outstanding linebackers to really shut that down tonight.
As a bonus, you can watch Maurice Carter come out of the tunnel here, and you'll see him do that front flip. It's always entertaining. But, in these early season games, Tom, what makes the biggest difference?
Honestly, it's Florida. It's August. It's hot. It's rainy. A lot of times last week we saw that. You and I both know there's many weather challenge, the conditions. For an opener, it's all about turnovers and penalties. The team that plays the discipline football avoids the costly flags, turnovers, protects the football at all costs. If you're throwing interceptions, you're putting the ball on the ground. It's really hard to win that game.
And I think really looking at it tonight at Harllee Stadium, the stadium's filling up. It's good to see that people are starting to get enthused here back again in the community. Yeah. We've got some butts in the seat here, and the band was playing earlier, and you can feel the excitement in the house here. It's really starting to build.
Yeah, and we were talking a little earlier about the field and being out here and seeing this beautiful field, the new scoreboard, just the team showing up. There's a lot of fans that are filling in right now. Getting this going. The sun setting down here in the west over the field. It just looks amazing. Cheerleaders are out there. I got my buddy Leland Taylor. His daughter is now the captain of the cheerleaders this year. So hopefully we get an interview with her at some point. But man, it's just that awesome feel here in Palmetto, the greatest city in Florida. Even though some people up here disagree with that, that's okay. But
yeah, we love it here. We've been here since the 1800s, since my family and yours, I believe. Tom.
That's right.
So looking out there, the captains of the game tonight are going to be number 24, Paul Moore, and you've got number 9, and that is going to be Chase Henson. big defensive tackle.
Yes.
And you've got number 70, one of my favorites, Michael Sanders, at 6'1", 300 pounds. And then Maurice Carter that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
You know, he's an electric, dynamic player.
You know what I love about Carter is he's the biggest guy on the team. You know, he's imposing. You look at him, he looks so mean, and so you know he's going to impose his will on the other team. But if you talk to him, he's one of the silliest guys you ever met. There was a video today that the team put out with them playing games and just having fun. And of course, he's the first one out there cutting up, and it's just good to see someone having that such a great personality, but also being a leader. And he's done a great job here as the captain.
All right, so as we prepare for the coin toss out there, I don't know if we've got Waylon Slayback, our Arctic Air sideline reporter. Can you pick us up, Waylon?
Right here, guys. Y'all got me?
Yes, we got you. Okay.
All right.
I want you to pick this one up and see who wins the toss and defers. Give us the terminology there, if you would.
Got it. Looks like they're still figuring it out right now. They're about to toss it.
Yeah, we've got a much better inside look than you do right here. We could probably see the heads or the tails. Yeah, we're cheating up here, Waylon.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I'm excited. It looks like I've been asking around who to keep an eye out for today, and any guy with a single digit on their jersey ought to be somebody worth watching this evening.
Yeah, what you're going to see here, I know you played a lot of football, college. You played up there in Arkansas, which has got a lot of fast people, but you're going to see uncharacteristically at Palmetto here, the offensive line averaging 294 pounds across that line of scrimmage as a high school football team is pretty impressive, huh?
Absolutely. I think if they just strap them up and stay behind those big nasties all night, I think they might have an easy path to success here.
So Palmetto did win the toss, and they elected to defer. So, Waylon, you haven't been on the sidelines in a while. You smell that old football smell, the pads and all that?
Yeah, it's all rushing back to me at once here. It's pretty great to be back on the sidelines. It's a cool opportunity.
Yeah, that musty smell it's like sweet when you haven't been around it, and it's like, wow, this is pretty nice. All right, Waylon, thank you for that Arctic Air sideline report. And now the teams are shaking hands, and the game's about to start here shortly. 1 minute and 44 seconds on the clock here.
Brian, it is interesting you talking about the smells and everything. And me and my wife were just talking the other day about you'll be doing something somewhere and you'll just catch a whiff of something, man, and it takes you back to being 10 years old, or it takes you back to playing a football game here at high school. To me, the smells are not the field so much. It was the grass back then, which obviously we don't have now, but the locker room. You walk in that locker room, man, and you're 15 years old again, getting ready for a game, and everybody's ripe, and it just takes you right back in time. It's amazing.
There goes Maurice Carter. Oh, there's 2, 3, 4 players that do round-offs there. So I remember that experience at Lincoln when I was a student over there in a PE class, and one guy tried it, 2 guys tried it. There's like 60 of us in the class, and there was about 15 guys that were able to do, flips like that.
Were you one of them?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay.
No, I did push-ups.
I think we should give it a shot. That'd be great for the opening.
No, that would be a train wreck. But you could see the energy of the Palmetto High team here. Those jerseys are sweet. And what you see there with that helmet that you've got there, you got a good look at it last week.
I did, man. It's nice because it looks black and looks like a standard Palmetto hat with the big P on the side. But as you get closer in the sun or the lights hit it, you start seeing that metallic red glint come off of it. They're really cool. I mean, and as the game gets going, you'll start seeing that more and more. This new uniform, this new look is pretty impressive. I like it a lot.
Now we're going to have to ask the camera personnel here as the Palmetto Tigers get set up for this. They're going to kick this one away. Brandon Galloway has been you almost think that the other 10 guys could just come up here and sit in the press box with us, Tom.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a pretty impressive leg. Last week you guys were talking about him. I hadn't seen him play yet, and we had an issue with the first extra point, but when he got a chance to kick a clean one, the second one, the power in which he kicked that thing, he was 40 yards through the uprights, which is just amazing. And I think he almost put it through the uprights on a kickoff last week as well.
If you want to see a Saturday leg, you don't have to go up to Gainesville or Tallahassee or those kind of places tomorrow.
Right.
You're going to see it right here tonight on TigerVision as presented by Conley Buick GMC. Now as we prepare to the kick, the play it's about to be blown live, and we remember to get a kick out of having a great-looking floor with our friends at Minnesota Flooring. That's a high kick, And really, that's only 9 yards deep in the end
Only
zone.
9. Only
so
9.
That's a little short for Galloway.
For a very high kick as well, That's a pooch kick for most high school kickers, and he put it out of the back of the end zone. Amazing.
I think I made a hey, Waylon down there on the Arctic Air sideline.
I got you.
What did that sound like coming off of that foot?
It sounded like Saturday. That guy's real smooth. He's a lefty. It's really impressive, and it didn't look like he was putting a lot of effort in that either.
Yeah, it looked like he almost was pooch kicking that one. He's not. What an amazing talent. Now, as Newsome comes out here, the quarterback. Now, he's a very good-looking quarterback. That's Lucas Gudner who's coming out. He's only a sophomore. 2 receivers on the left side. They're doing a little shift, trying to draw those Palmetto Tigers off. Looks to the middle of the field. He's got a wide open tight end down there. Big hit by Rump, but nice gain of about 17 on the play.
Did you happen to see number 77, a very large individual? I think he was playing guard. He came out into motion and lined up as a receiver, and his entire job was to step back and start waving his hands. That's a little.
That was nice.
That's a little league type play, but hey, it was effective with the completion over the middle.
Brings up a 1st and 10 here for Newsome. Little jet sweep action. They hand it to him going around the left side. Going to need to get a block. Big hit out there on the edge. Nowhere to go. A host of Tigers over there. But, attempting to run around that edge was Trey Gaffney.
It looked like Jay Washington possibly with that tackle, number 12.
Yeah.
Coming up strong. He's not a very big guy, but, man, that was a nice, solid stick.
Yeah, loss of 1 on the play. Brings up a 2nd and 11. This is Tom. This is a pretty tricky scheme here. They're going to go twins on this side, and the quarterback is going to take this one under center, hands the ball off to the back, bounces it outside, and he's going to be tackled there by number 1 for the Tigers, Zion Roberson.
Yeah, it's an interesting offense so far. Obviously, we haven't seen much of this offense, but it seems very traditional. We're used to the spread style offense and the quick passes and athletic plays, beating somebody one-on-one. This seems to be a little bit more of a traditional style here.
3rd and a very long 6. We could call it 7 yards. Like a little single wing here. Now changing things up. 20, Trey Gaffney sets up out here to the far right-hand boundary. Tight formation across the field. High snap. And the ball is going to be down. That's going to be the easiest tackle that number 17, Isaiah Tyson, is going to ever have in his life.
It's interesting that it was not a great snap. It came out a little sideways to the quarterback's right. Didn't make a great play on it. And obviously, we were going to get the ball back, on the punt here. But last week, it takes me back to, the play we had where the quarterback had a bad snap. He was able to bring it in and deliver. Hennessy was able to deliver that nice pass out to the left for a touchdown last week. And those are the plays a quarterback and athlete has to make.
Boy, Palmetto brings them all. And he gets a kickoff. And it's going to be roughing the kicker. And a good punt is going to settle down at the 39-yard line. But with the distance on the chain here, they were about, 18 yards to go?
It's like 14, 15, maybe? Let me see here.
Yeah, it's got.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
yep.
And so we'll see as they sort this one out.
It's an example of the player not going for the ball. You're taught to aim for the toe, for the ball right there, and they just missed the ball. If they hit the ball there, obviously it's all good. They were there plenty of time to block that. Just missed the block itself. It's a running
into the kicker, so that's going to bring up another punting situation. That looked pretty very close to being a roughing the kicker, but good break for the Tigers.
Yeah, luckily he didn't put his shoulder down and drive through him. It didn't run into his plant leg. That's another one that they like to call if the kid's at danger because he's standing on that leg that gets hit.
Jock Harris will go back there to return this one. Michael Smith, number 30, the punter. And, he's got good depth. Now coming in late into the lineup is number 58, and that is John Tesmer coming in, settle up in a position blocking. Good pressure up the middle. Low kick is going to go for the left sideline and be out of bounds there. They're going to watch the referee walk that one down, and it's going to be spotted at the 40 1 yard line.
30.
And then he moved.
37?
Yeah.
37, I think it is, yep.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, the Tigers saw what, Newsome had to put out there, and they withstood that, first little barrage there. Quick first down. Sometimes, you think, oh, no, early on we're already giving up a first down. You want to get that 3 and out and get off the field. But they kind of saw the offense a little bit, saw what they're trying to do, and were able to withstand that. So coming out, it's going to be great field position.
Well, 9:05 on the clock here in the first. And folks in the press box are questioning the spot there, but Palmetto Tigers really in good starting field position. Matthew Hennessy awaits the snap. Very nice snap. He's going to hand the ball off, and there is a great play.
Yes, it is. And
goes for a gain of about 1 on the play. But we'll get a number on that. Stepping in to make a tackle was number 46, I believe, and 46 is Connor Eichler.
Connor Eichler. On that last play on the punt, I did see the referee in the back here. He was standing still, and he was going from the point where the punter kicked it to where it went out of bounds, and he was communicating well with him. So it should have been a decent spot.
Brings up a 2nd and 8 here for those Tigers, and really incomplete pass out there. And Jock Harris, he might have jumped. He was out very, very quickly on that one.
Yes.
It might have really been a false start on there. I don't know if you noticed that.
No,
Tom.
I did not see that, but I noticed. We'll see right here. Let me see.
And then I think he probably had that in his head and didn't focus on the ball.
Not a very good spiral. It's hard to catch those sometimes, but I think it was probably a little too easy. It was too open, and sometimes your brain gets engaged before your hands make the catch.
3rd and 8. Riding sidecar is Kevron Jones in the backfield with Big Matthew Hennessy. Twin receivers on both sides of formation. Now he looks. He throws the big ball down the sideline, and that's going to be Jock. He goes up. Really good play by the defender there, shutting that one down. Number 5, and that is Jaden Taylor.
Yeah, that was like a textbook coverage there. He stayed with them. They both had their eyes back looking for the ball, and at the last second, they both came up. The defender was able to stay inside and knock that ball down. It was a great defensive play.
And, that's something we've seen as we talk pregame. A lot of times you see those Palmetto receivers behind somebody. The ball was a little bit underthrown. But, you could see they've got great quickness in the cornerback and the secondary back there.
You remember last week, Hennessy started out a little shaky with his passes, and as the game went on, he improved. So maybe we'll see that same trend here tonight.
Good snap back there. Hennessy just smoothly fires. Look at all the coverage there. Nowhere to go.
That's amazing.
Down inside the 9. Saturday-looking kick.
So Galloway is number 1 place kicker, and he's number 2 in the nation in punting. Is that correct?
That's according to Coles, yes.
That's unbelievable, and he just seems effortless with it. And it's interesting. You hear the kick, you see how confident he is, and then he takes his helmet off, and he looks like he's a 16-year-old kid. And it just,
What was impressive about that, Tom? He can take it, and he did a little bit of a step to the left, like a rugby style. So he's got the different variations in his bag already. Kind of look like an Aussie out there, the Australian rules football guy.
With a guy like him kicking, they're respecting his legs so much. There could be an opportunity for a fake at some point when he runs that way, and everybody starts backing off to go get the coverage.
Gunther in a pistol depth this time, throws it out there. Pretty good coverage, soft cushion over there. Throws it into the 14-yard line. It's a gain of about 3 on the play.
That's a tougher pass to catch than people realize. Jumping back, the ball's low, not very well thrown by the quarterback, and to make that pass, that was a nice little catch by number 11.
7:50 on the clock here. Gunther looks good. He looks very, very very, very casual, very calm back there. Gianni Fouray's in the backfield with him. And the hand in inside, and he slips on his cuts. That's going to be a loss on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and very long 9.
Yeah, even without the slip, the hole was not very big. I don't believe it looked like it was closing up as he got to it anyway. So I think the Tigers would have had a no gain on that one as well. But nice to have them pinned back here a little bit. 3rd down.
Yeah, Tyrone Harris, number 90. When he's a sophomore, he really messed things up in the middle of the line. Looks for the quick went out there and it slipped. And on the route was Jeremiah Peterson for the Pirates. And he had jumped that route, and he's got 6, and he slipped on the rug.
Yeah, I mean, he read it, obviously. He saw that they had some miscommunication, but as he went to go make his break, I mean, that's 2 slips on this end of the field. You remember last week we had a couple slips as well.
We did.
Alonzo had a few slips on this end of the field, so not really sure what's up with that, if it's a cleat issue or what, but it was a great read, and if he was able to make the athletic play and get his foot to hold, he probably would have had a good shot at an interception there.
Now going back to kick this one away is Michael Smith. Gets that one out of there. It's a shank. Oh, man. A dangerous play over there. The ball does bounce off of the Tigers, and that was Jeremiah Peterson. So, Patterson, he had a chance for the interception over there, and he almost committed a little no-no there on that one.
Made a great play and made a bad play. Coaches hate that. I mean, it's one of the things, the easiest things in the world to say, hey, just get away from the ball, let it go. But these kids are taught to be aggressive and to go get that ball, and he's playing defensive back. He wants to make an interception. That ball's just kind of floating, and he can see it. You know what I mean? Everything you've been taught, everything you've been coached, man, it's hard to fight your brain when you want to grab that thing and run a little bit.
And it's a play that you probably made in practice all the time. You got the fans in the stands. It's a little loud. I think it's a little early for the water break because it's 6 minutes and 49 seconds on the clock. So they're sorting out. So let's go to kick it down to it's officials timeout, and it is a water break. So we may have a pause here in the action. Good looking drone shot tonight. It's beautiful here. And that drone shot is provided to us this year. Doug's Hourly Muscle aerial coverage. The drone shot is provided by Doug's Hourly Muscle.
Have you ever used them?
I know many people that have.
I have. It was a great experience.
Guys.
Had a couple good guys come, real great personalities. Helped us move, helped wrap everything up, get it moved. Very, very positive experience with Doug's Hourly Muscle.
Matthew Hennessy, Tigers have this one 1st and 10. That's going to be a false start. So that's going to back them up. It'll be 1st and 15.
Looks like Romeo McAllister got a little quick jump there. Obviously, he was looking to pull, and sometimes, again, you're supposed to stay in place, but excited about getting around there and picking somebody up. So he popped just a little early. 74, that number's near and dear to my heart, obviously.
I love that. And it's kind of hard to stop, when you're 6'3" and 290. So this time they swing it out there, and really just a bubble screen. Needed to get a block, didn't. Nice little gain on the play of about 3 yards. So that's going to bring up a second, and we'll call it 14 yards.
It's amazing to me sometimes. You see the pass come out, the receiver catches it, and there's 2 or 3 guys in front of them. You think, oh, man, they're going to get tackled for a loss. And they're able to squeak out a 3-yard gain. That's the difference in getting the first down and punting in a few plays here.
The chain crew over there, we've had them here at Palmetto High School. I think that's Bob Teachy and Dean Teachy. They do a great job. Now that's going to be a false start, unless they say that the defender coming out of his stance up there caused the offensive lineman to come across. It's going to be a false start on the Tigers.
We talked in the pregame about, eliminating those mental errors and the penalties last week, how we did such a good job on that. Obviously, it's still an issue, and like we always say, you just got to remember these are 15, 16-year-old kids, and, just getting the season started. They're going to get better as it goes. The coaches are probably going to give them some encouragement this week for these penalties, and the offensive line will definitely come out a little better.
Throws out that bubble screen again. Carter's got it. And a nice gain on the play. Lunges forward very close. He's only about 3 yards short. So this ought to be fun here. 3rd and 3.
Got a little lucky on that play. It looked like Luther was lined up offsides to start. Looks like his helmet was over the ball. Refs didn't see it or just decided not to call it, but it was a great little catch and run.
And Maurice, we saw him at the media day. He's put on a lot of muscle. He's continued to have that speed and quickness, but he's put on a lot of muscle over since last season. And Hennessy gets that ball out there in a hurry.
Yeah, he's definitely got that little quick release. It helps a lot. There you go. Nice.
Great blocking by the left side of the line, and really a nice gain on the play for Kieron Jones.
You're just talking about the muscle that's been added, and that's the big difference. These guys are quick and athletic, but the coaches know you've got to get in that gym and work out. That way a 3-yard run turns into a 6-yard run, just from leaning and driving, keeping those legs moving.
5:25 on the clock here. First quarter, Tigers driving very near the red zone. Throws that bubble screen out there, really good, breaking down, making a great tackle and a very elusive. We'll get a number out there, but it's just a very good defensive play.
It looked like it was number 20 possibly. Let me see here.
Yeah, number 20, that is Trey Gaffney. We've seen him on offense coming out there making a play.
And, that's a situation where he kind of got beat a little bit, but he was able to hold on around one leg and just wait for backup and, was able to make that nice tackle. Love to hear that band getting fired up out here. Let's go Tigers. I love it.
I like to see that. I like to see Coach Sanders' team, plenty of time pre-snap, check things out, change it up at the line of scrimmage. This time they have a little run action to the left side, a little gain on the play. And we'll see Bob Tichy set the marker down over there. That's going to bring up a 3rd and about 6.
Newsome's a little undersized on the defensive line. They seem to be holding up pretty good, but of course it's the first quarter. You get 294 pounds leaning on you for 3 more quarters. Second half of this game, we should start seeing that Tiger run game really start to pick up.
Now the Palmetto Tigers are in the Hines Law red zone, knocking on the door. A lot of things you can do from this position. He throws it out there, backs out, looks for a little screen down there. Shane Partridge going to need to make one miss. He does. First down, Tigers.
I don't know if you caught that, but we had 3 – looked like a receiver and a lineman and one other guy blocking one defensive back on that side, and they just ran him right into the sideline.
Okay, let's look. Oh, yeah. Aristotle just passes him through.
Nice little push. That could have been a little penalty there. But look, there's 3 of them down there. Just I love it.
Work down there. It's where the game is won along those lines.
That's right.
You've got to have those offensive linemen.
Hold those blocks. You never know.
Ball's on the 11-yard line. This time, really good play by the defensive front for Newsome. And, you got to, from last week, we talked about it in pregame, how they were gashed all night long. They really have done a little coaching over there, and that was great defensive play.
That's a situation, and even right here, I'd like to see Coach try to maybe go to Luther in the end zone. Athletic tight end. He's a strong kid. They're expecting to run this close in, and maybe we can fool them and slip something behind them.
Brings up a 2nd 10. Kieran is in the backfield now. Ace Luther goes in motion from the right side of the formation. Run heavy left. Oh, good patience there by Kieran,
wow.
And he is. Are they going to spot? They're going to say he's down inches away from the goal line.
We have one ref saying touchdown.
Oh, touchdown. There you go.
Okay,
touchdown.
So looking across the field, the white hat over there confirms it is a touchdown for those Palmetto Tigers. You saw the shift pre-snap. Luther comes to the left side. Looked like an old 12 package, 12 with the 2 tight end setup. Luther sets up. They run heavy to the left. Beautiful.
Well, Brian, you called it the patience to wait for the block to develop. It wasn't there. He didn't have it yet. He waited half a step just to get going, let that block develop, and run it right into the end zone. That was a great play by the running back.
Hunter Ferguson fires that one back. Leon Harold with the hold, and he drives that one into Parrish back there. So with 2:38 on the clock, the Palmetto Tigers lead this one 7-0.
Coaches are excited. The sideline's fired up. You hear the band playing. It's just it's a great atmosphere out here at Harllee Stadium. We were talking earlier about when we were kids running out here behind the stands. Everybody from Palmetto knows what we're talking about. The football games that were happening back there were just as intense as the ones that were happening on the field. And I love to see the kids running around. They got their pom-poms. They're throwing footballs. We've really created a nice hometown feel for our sideline in this beautiful stadium. And the visitors brought quite a few tonight. That team is huge. We're looking at their roster. There's like 60 kids listed on this roster, which is amazing for a high school football team.
Yeah, and they had 3 buses full of fans and the team come to this game. So the support at Newsome.
And the cheerleaders travel too, so
Is incredible.
yeah, that doesn't happen too often for an away game in high school. That tells me that the team has a lot of support from the school. They're raising funds. They're able to, bring the, large group of cheerleaders, large group of players. I mean, that doesn't just happen. So they must have a good booster club or a good administration supporting that team.
He crushes that one. Get a kick out of a great restored floor after the Hurricanes with Minnesota flooring.
Wayland said it in the pregame when they were, or maybe it was right after the kickoff there, where he said, big kid, left-footed, a lot of things to look at there, but he made it look effortless. And that's the truth. The people who are the good players make it look effortless. It looks like, I could do that. I mean, that's going to be easy. And then, you see everybody else go out there and try to kick the ball like that, and you just can't do it. It's definitely a gift. You said he's a junior, correct?
Yeah, he's freaky. He's just something else. Oh, Waylon, you got your ears on, buddy.
I got you guys.
Okay, 2 questions. You think that's a pretty big offensive line you're looking at? And 2, how do you think the kicker looks?
All right, so the offensive line, you said it earlier, they're going to keep leaning on these boys, and they need to keep pounding the rock with the run, because I can already see some of them getting tired. There's the wins that they're having right now are because they're very shifty on the front end of the defensive line. And, this kicker's something special. We're going to see him play for several years following.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that Arctic Air sideline report. Now we're going to take it down. Short gain. Flores gains about 2.5, 3 yards on that one. Two receivers out here wide to the right, and then Gunther is going to take this one in the backfield. I believe he's got number 10 there, Glenn Fiore, back there with him. Tried to pick up that tight end. Really good pickup by Zion Roberson. Zyro.
The receiver was there. The pass was just a little high, went over his head. Obviously, there's something we're going to work on, because he was somewhat open. If the ball was delivered in the right spot, that would have been a pretty decent gain, probably for a first down there.
Now, big play here for the Palmetto Tiger defense. 1:51 on clock, and it is now a 3rd and 7 for the Wolves.
Money down. Let's go.
Like that energy, Tom. Keep it
right,
coming.
that's right.
Lucas Gunther. 2 receivers out here. Look for the flanker out on this right side of the formation. He takes it, fakes the handoff, and he throws it out there, and it's a nice gain on the play. Number 12 there is Max Ubinik, the wide receiver.
Yeah, that seemed like a slow developing play there, like he just had time. I thought there was going to be a play made on the ball. It just kind of floated out there, but the defender didn't seem to see it. So it was just a little late reaction. Obviously, giving up the first down, that's disappointing. Good catch. Nice throw, nice catch.
40 comes into the game for the Tigers, and that's going to be Colin Hamlin. Colin Hamlin, that's a good name. I may have played with his probably father, David Hamlin, and probably grandfather years ago.
Probably grandfather.
Hamlin, and he's built just like David was. Yeah. Nice size. I like this, taking the ball under center in high school football. I think we need to get a return to some of that. Jet sweep around the edge. He's got him. It's Gaffney. He's at the 40. He's at the right at the 30-yard line. Let's see where they spot him out. Okay, so he's going to be inside the 30. He's going to be tackled at the 29-yard line.
Looked like Scatabo coming around that side there. I mean, that was a very impressive run. Shifty, but not too shifty. He stayed in the blocks. You can see right there the 2 great blocks by the receivers there, and cutting it back just in between 2 Tigers. That was a nice athletic play.
That was a nice run.
Yeah, very nice. Sometimes, high school kids, they get their mind set up on what they're going to do. You could tell he was just kind of feeling the defensive pressure and adjusting to it.
I mean, Trey Gaffney made that nice cut as it was an ankle breaker when he turned it to the inside there.
That's it.
Newsome now getting close here. 1:08 on the clock. Motion back comes across there. Now they throw the ball down the middle, and it's going to be caught. Big hit, but he's down to the 4-yard line. Really nice catch.
Great catch, but you know what's allowing this is the defensive line is not getting any pressure on the quarterback. He the last play he did, but this time they blocked very well. No pressure in there, gave him time to develop, and the throw was not on the money, but he was able to make a nice play coming back to it.
Now Newsome Wolves knocking at the door, takes the ball under center. High school football, it's a rarity. Oh, good play on the inside of the line, and that's number 90 for the Tigers. Tyron Harris.
Tyron's a big kid, athletic. It's a nice play there. It's that, Vita Vea type, just slide underneath and take his legs up from underneath him there.
Actually, that was
99.
One-handed tackle by Zion Lee.
6'3", 300 pounds.
That helps if you're going to have your arm extended like that. Another dive, fakes the dive, rolls him out there, got a wide open man out there. The tight end slipped out of there, and that's going to be number 10. And a celebration flag after that, and it's number 81, which is Ryan Moran there, a sophomore.
Spun that little football like, you see in the NFL so often, and ref was standing right there, wasn't having any of that. A nice little play-action pass. The little play-action worked pretty well. It fooled, obviously, the linebacker and the defensive back there, letting them get behind and making a great play.
One of the things you can do out of under center that you can't do out of the shotgun because of those things happen quicker. Because the shotgun snap's going to take a 5-yard, it's taking more time for those to slip out, and sometimes those linebackers will figure it out. But when you're under center like that, this is something we don't see in high school football.
No, it's not very often.
The Tigers probably haven't, through practice this week, obviously, they worked on it, scout team, but it's not preparing you for the actual game situation.
And scout team with kids who have never run that style of offense before doesn't necessarily give you a great look, They're trying to figure it out, trying to give you an idea what it's going to be, but.
And there's a good snap, good hold, and the kick is up and good. So that is number 60. That's Carson Brockmeyer, and a good hold there by the holder.
Yeah, good snap, good hold, nice kick. The penalty didn't seem to hurt them too much on that, but definitely could have been detrimental. The Tigers got some decent pressure in there. We're probably about a foot away from a block, but it only takes that little bit of space to get it through. But disappointing defense on that drive. We gave up a couple big plays, and they made us pay for it. So defensive coaches, I'm sure, are now chewing on them. I can see Matt Brazelton down there coaching it up, 2 plays later still, teaching and showing them what they should have done. But then at the end, you love to see he gives a little pat on the helmet like, just get it together. You guys have been taught what to do. You know how to play defense. Just, stick to your fundamentals, and you'll be fine.
So there's only 6 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, so the Palmetto Tigers is going to have that for the kick return, and that should about, end the quarter. Now, we haven't seen the kicker from Newsome at this point of the game, and a lot of times they're going to utilize the pooch-type kicks to stay away from those dynamic returners, but we'll see.
Not sure if it's the same kickoff guy as it was the place kicker. Does that look like the same kid? Was it 48? Yeah, I think it is. His place kick was through, but it wasn't strong. It wasn't too beautiful. So we'll have to see if that's gonna.
Okay, and according to the Gospel of Max Preps, I'm very apologetic. I don't have a 48 on the roster. I apologize for the Newsome fans out there, but we do the best we can, and we go with what we got. He has a nice approach to the ball. It's a high hanging kick, coverage kick. Palmetto Tigers got it. He's running in it. He makes a cut, and he will take this one to the house, and that is Jock Harris.
No flags. That's a nice, clean play. When the ball first came in, it looked like he was late responding to the ball, like it was going to drop in front of him. But obviously, with excellent speed, caught it on the run, which gave him a little bit of advantage. That was amazing return there, and it was close. I mean, that was pretty decent coverage. He was just able to split it with the speed he had built up.
I got a layup question for the sideline reporter down there. Waylon, just yes or no? Did that guy look pretty fast?
Oh, yeah, he was scooting.
I appreciate it. Now, Liam Harold, who is an excellent kicker, is the holder here for you fans looking in from outside. And we have a kid that and Liam was leading the county in scoring at some point last year. And then we got a really solid quarterback. Hunter Ferguson is the long snapper. Galloway hits this one, and that one's going to barely eke over the crossbar by about 50 yards. We'll go to – brings us to the end of the first quarter.
You're watching TigerVision, presented by Conley Buick GMC. Stay tuned, we'll be right back after these messages.
So tell me, what was actually the name of the award? It was you were the #1 stream.
Oh, there's a returnable kick. He takes it to the middle, tries to get a crease, and he's going to run this one out to the 26-yard line. So we'll pick that up on the Arctic Air replay here, Tom.
You know, catching that ball clean is what the Tigers did on their punt return there. Or kickoff return. They caught it clean and were able to make a good return. You see the returner here drops the ball, has to turn around, pick it up, and it just throws the timing completely off of the entire play. Great coverage, but he still had a nice return considering, you know, he dropped the ball. So good coverage, but a great return on his part anyway.
Covered there by number 41, not on the roster here for me on the Newsome roster. So 11:50 on the clock. You know, we went into that thinking it was going to be locked up at sevens at the quarter break. And then the long return, Tom, that was a lot of fun.
That was huge. I'm not sure who the new special teams coach is for the Tigers. Are you aware who that is?
Hey, you know, Kolna is down there, and Kolna is a good one. You know, Kyle Toma, I know he's very, very involved. I think he is a special teams coach down there, and he's got a lot of weapons. First and 10 from the 25. Oh, big hit. Goes for a gain about 1 on the play. Ball was handed off to Trey Gaffney again.
Is that 90 or 99 that made that play?
We may pick it up on TigerVision. I believe that one was number 90 for the Tigers, and that's Tyron Harris.
Just a sophomore, Tyrone Harris. He's a big boy, 250 pounds, it says. He looks to be a little bigger than that, but athletic, moves very well, and he's just a 15-year-old sophomore.
Goodness gracious. 2nd and 9. Oh, a nice little fake by the quarterback, but the inside handoff goes for nothing.
And that was 90 Tyron Harris again. He did a little swim action, and the lineman really never even touched him. He went right around and looked Warren Sapp-esque, if you can see. Well, you're not going to be able to see that on this replay, but see how far back in the field, in the backfield he is. Just made a nice athletic move on that right guard.
So, you know, between the two, 90 at 250 and the Zion Lee, number 99 at 300 when he rotates in and out there. And then Henson, you know, Chase Henson is incredible, and he's the smaller of the group at Chase Henson at 6'3", 245, and he's only a sophomore, Tom.
Smaller, 6'3", 245. Would have been the largest lineman on our team by 50 pounds back when I was playing. These kids are just huge now. It's unbelievable.
You know,
and athletic at that size.
Now, Waylon, going to Arctic Air sideline reporter, you as an undersized lineman there in college, how'd you like to tee it up with some of those big fellas up there, over 3 bills tonight?
Yeah, I run across some big boys here and there. Sometimes they're just too big, and there wasn't much I could do about it other than hang on and bring them down when I was going down.
Hey, sometimes it's better to be smart than big or good, right? You got to be in the right place at the right time.
That's absolutely right.
I was never very big, very strong, but I was smarter than a lot of the guys I was trying to block, and so I could get in the right position. That's half of the game. Of course, when the guy's 6'5", 350 pounds, that part doesn't count as much.
It kind of doesn't. Yeah, and with the blocking, it has changed because you can't block below the knees, and you can't do a lot. When you had a big guy like that, earlier on in your life,
we were chopping trees, baby.
Crab blocking, and doing a lot of wicked stuff. They can't do that these days. You got to kind of play them straight up. This time it brings up a 3rd and 11. Got their looks, throws the ball down the sideline, got a man.
There was a large push off.
Yeah, that looked like an offensive interference there.
Very, very much offensive. He pushed him both hands. I don't know how he thought nobody was going to see that, but he definitely they're calling holding on us.
Wow.
That's holding on the Tigers.
Okay, you'll get a good look at this on the Arctic Air replay. Let's look. So there they are, running down the boundary. Got his hand back there. I didn't see it.
Didn't quite catch it, but yeah, he must have been holding pretty good for that amount of a shove. So refs right on top of that. I mean, the only player going deep. They've done that a couple times to us. They're not respecting our defensive backs on either side. It appears, but we're going to have to tighten that up and finish those plays.
But as you know, in high school football, it's not an automatic first down with defensive holding. So really, not. If he did hold him, he was going by you. Not the worst play you could make out there.
3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
3rd and short, and this time he's going to take this one out of the shotgun. No, here he's coming up, and he's going to take this one under center. I like that strategy. Got their hands the ball off, straight dive, old school.
Oh, nice tackle. Oh, looks like he might have got it.
Looks like he crept across for the first down at the last second effort.
I think they're going to end up giving it to him. It's very close.
Oh, they've got 4th down on the marker over there. Really not much of a decision here. There's your first down. They sorted that one out.
Yeah, Tigers getting in the backfield easily. I'm not sure how they gained a yard on that unless there's a late last-second surge. Here it is. That last surge right there is what allowed them to get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's a really good run.
Tigers looked like 2 Tigers had him wrapped up pretty early, and he was just powered through it.
Good stuff here by Newsome so far.
Yeah.
Pretty nice approach. Throwing some wrinkles out there.
Yeah, I mean they're not. It's not a traditional. Well, I guess it is traditional. It's a little more traditional for us, but just an interesting offense. Kind of like that wing tee a little bit. Not a ton of movement, but quick turnaround handoffs. I mean, they're not. Running back's not very far in the backfield.
Kind of a flanker, the old flanker position is back here tonight. This time they hand inside. There's a face mask there. No call. There it comes.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah.
And so that's going to be a 1st and 10, and they're going to tack on some more there, Tom.
And that running back lining up closer. They're not 7 yards back. He looks like he's about 4 yards back behind the quarterback. And as soon as the quarterback turns around, it's such a quick handoff that it doesn't give the defenders time to really react to it. So obviously he ran right through 3 people. They barely touched him getting through because they just could not react fast enough.
Got a really good block there from number 66 on the play, and that's Christian Mastandrea with a great block. Tom, it's always a little bit warm down there on the sideline.
Yes.
But now that you're experiencing this up in the press box, what do you think?
Well, it's nice. On the sideline, you're standing up for about 3.5 hours. You don't get to sit down anywhere. It's always rainy and hot, and of course tonight it's mild out there, and the air's a little warm in here. So I think somebody's messing with me. Somebody's messing with that AC, kind of giving me a hard time.
Yeah, it is balmy up here. It is warm up here. Johnny Fiore's back there in the backfield with Lucas Gunther. Motion, he's looking to throws it down, wheel route down the sideline. Nice gain on the play, and he's finally taken out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
I'm trying to figure out. I'd love to see this replay because I'm not really sure where the Tigers were at all. There was nobody within like 10 yards of him. I'm not sure who messed that coverage up. Maybe that linebacker out there was supposed to go. Yeah.
He just got wheeled, and that was Dak Johnsey. Nice play call. Got him coming in a little aggressive. And
seemed to be a well-coached team. They haven't had a lot of penalties. The offense is definitely, they're scheming here. They're finding our weaknesses and taking advantage of them, moving up all the way down the field on us.
That right tackle out there is a hoss. Let's get a number on that.
77, Mark Smith.
Mark Smith. I've got no heights and weights listed, but I'm going to go with 6'4", probably 335.
Yeah, I'll do 6'3", about 340. He's stout, and he's the one on the first play of the game, the first offensive play for Newsome. He ran out and shook his hands and tried to be a distraction, which, if somebody that big is getting thrown the ball, you're going to be distracted. But he seems to move pretty good for a big boy. Number 66, I believe he's the center. It doesn't say on the roster here. I believe he's the center. And he has got a nice build for an offensive lineman. He's a little shorter, but he's stocky. He's a large kid, but he doesn't seem to be overweight. He seems like a good sized, strong offensive lineman size. So,
and the news for the future is you're seeing the guy out there near the sideline. He's out there past the hash, coming from his center position. And if you're 6'3" and you're blessed with that kind of size, and you can still get it out there, he's going to get some looks.
Yeah, definitely.
Now Newsome's in the Hines Law red zone. Tight formation. Jack Gaffney comes across. They fake it to him. They look for the wheel down there, and actually they did hand the ball. That was
nice
really
tackle.
Nice tackle out there.
It looked like 24.
Paul Moore on the tackle.
Great tackle.
Didn't get fooled. Watch the handoff there.
It's just so quick. The
handoff
was
awesome.
Is so quick. And 90, of course, is right back in the backfield again. Man, he is very shifty back there. A great solo tackle by 24.
Oh, by Paul Moore. That looked like it was going to go for at least 8 or 9 yards. Two receivers out on the right. Hands the ball off, and nice footwork, goes down. He's going to be short of the first down, but a nice gain on the play.
Every single play, 90, Tyrone Harris is in the backfield. Every play. Sometimes being shifty gets you out of position as well, So he's moving to get around the offensive lineman. He's right in the backfield, but he's just off of making that tackle for a loss.
And it's 3rd and 3, so they've got a opportunity to get a first down here, and then still be in 1st and goal. Palmetto Tigers really, really need to come up with something here on this play. Very tight formation out there.
We haven't seen this quarterback run, and he looks like a runner.
He can run.
He looks quick. He's a smaller guy, shifty. Wouldn't be surprised to see him in one of these situations down here on the goal line, try to do a little boot out the other side.
Yeah, I was just thinking they're going to overload the right side, do a little naked boot out there
a little motion to the right and have him just do the little Peyton Manning can score kind of play.
Maybe have one receiver in the pattern in case the DN stays home. That kind of action. That's a good call, Tom.
Yeah, atmosphere is very nice tonight. I was just looking out here outside the press box, and they got the band going and these nice new flags we have flapping up here. The Palmetto Tigers flag, the Tiger Paw. Stands are getting a little more full. People are showing up slowly, but it's a beautiful night for football. Last year, I think the year before that, we lost several games due to weather. You remember we had to delay several games. And, obviously last week we only got to halftime, but this week it's a beautiful night. It's a little balmy, but there's a nice breeze going. So it's a great night to be out here seeing these Tigers play.
Really some good looks there of the moon. That was a good shot. I'm not going to ask you what the moon is made out of today, Tom. We can get back to that later. But it's 3rd and 3 here. So there's an opportunity for a first down, and then get a whole other set of downs.
There's a lot of field on this side. A lot of field for somebody to make a play.
Quarterback sneaks straight up the middle of the field for the touchdown.
They call it yet?
Yeah, I got a signal on the far sideline.
No, I think he's going to mark at the 1.
So that's going to be a 1st and goal from the 1.
We knew he was going to run. We just didn't think the quarterback sneak was going to be the way to go.
I'm going to tell you, they're going to take the ball under center.
Oh, look at this shot right here. Look at the drone shot right over the top.
Beautiful shot.
That's awesome.
He does plow ahead. He runs those big heavies. He really gains nothing on that one.
That's a great job by the cameraman and James back there going to that shot. You know, it's tougher to catch those things than people think and be in the right place at the right time. But that's a great job by the TigerVision cast.
And you guys, at home, you're getting such a better look. These numbers are getting lost in these new LED lights. This time he hands the ball off to Gaffney coming around there. And he's in for 6. So with 6:14 on the clock, Newsome's only trailing by 1. We've got an extra point coming.
Yeah, you know, short of one athletic play by our kick returner, you know, we're down in this game. So Palmetto's got to figure out a way to get some sustained drives, get this offense going. The defense has kind of been on the field for quite a while. Just, you know, little splashes here and there. No major big plays, but, you know, they're obviously getting us back on our heels.
Kind of hard to see the number on the field. It's washed out. It is no good. The kick is up and no good. Looks like number 38, which we don't have on the roster here, was wide left.
I think it was 48 last time.
Okay, so 48 would be
wasn't on there.
Not on there either.
Oh.
So 38 or 48, neither one of them on there. So, you know, the one thing with these new LED lights tonight, with that Carolina blue type uni and the white background, these lights are so great. They're absolutely washing out the numbers. We're having a better.
Yeah.
It's easier for us to pick them up. It's easier for us to pick them up.
Yeah, 48. That was him. Look at this shot right here, Brian. Look at the TigerVision guys got this shot right here. That's amazing.
That is a great shot from TigerVision. As you can see tonight, those numbers are kind of getting washed out in these beautiful high-def lights, LEDs. I got a Sarasota Herald just slipped me a note here. Donnie Wilkie here, 2:36 in the first was the last time the Palmetto offense was on the field. So what does that tell you? The formula tonight for Newsome, they're kicking it old school.
There you go.
Kicking it old school, quarterback under center, ground and pound.
And that's the thing about high school football. You got to do what works for you against this opponent. If you have a more athletic or a more physical team, you have to be. That's a nice kick.
All right, it's deep in the end zone. That's a touchback. So get a kick out of a great brand new floor from our friends at Minnesota Flooring.
As I was saying, you have to be, technical, and you have to make sure you're game planning, you're blocking correctly, you're running the crisp routes and being where you're supposed to be. You just have to be a more precise team. I think Palmetto's probably a more athletic team, but right now they're getting pushed around a little bit.
So we're going to take a break here for the water break here with 6:14 on the clock. Good look at Sanders over there on the sideline, coaching him up.
Full head of hair. Look at that guy.
Waylon, let's kick it down to the Arctic Air sideline report. What's the energy? Is it a nervous energy over there, or they look like they're prepared to go?
I think they know they're in the middle of a bit of a fight here. They're trying to get right. It's balmy, like you said, so I've been sitting in front of that Miss fan more than them boys have.
Hey.
I think they're in good shape.
You're sitting in front of the Miss fan. You know, you played for the Tigers. We're the Tigers here. We're the Tigers, not the Cheetahs, Waylon. You're cheating down there.
I would get whatever advantage I can.
I got you, brother. Now it's 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Big series here. Tennessee looks out. Maurice Carter, really no place to go, but it's a nice little gain of about 4 on the play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice pass. He threw it back away from the defender, so the receiver was able to come back and grab it. And, it's one of those things. You move to the outside, you get tackled. If you move to the inside, maybe you're able to break loose a little bit. But they're doing a good job fundamentally tackling, holding on. They've had a lot of ankle and knee tackles. They're just holding on and getting these Tigers to the ground.
Hennessy snaps the ball. Shane Partridge, really nice cutter, 2. First down, Tigers.
Nice run. That was a huge hole. The offensive line opened up for him. Man, I could have run through that hole. That was great. Great job by number 7 finishing that run, too. You always like to see the defenders going backwards and not the offensive player. He did a great job of following.
Yeah, I thought Isaac Salty, kept that from being a much bigger play. But really good push there by the Tiger offensive line. Great moves there by Shane Partridge. Now, these are some really tight formations for the Tigers. So they have 2 receivers out there to the left, very big formation, 8th Luther out there, the tight end on the right side. This time, Hennessy wants the long ball. He's got a man. It's Maurice Carter. He's got the catch, and he's down to the 24-yard line.
Wow, what a great catch. It all started with the protection. They put on the max protect there. The tight end stayed in, and you could see nobody got near Hennessy at all. He was able to set his feet and make a nice throw. Still a little far, but the receiver was able to run underneath it. And, man, what an athletic play to catch that, bring it in, and not give it up when you hit the ground.
Check the camera switch there and watch them track the ball here. Bang.
Nice.
We have the best guys behind us in the business.
Nice.
You'll never see a shot. Some of these shots that we get, we're blessed because the shots that we get here with high school football, they're so clean. I don't know if we've got 60 frames per second, but that was a beautiful look from TigerVision. Next time he throws that, gets a block out there, he's going to need to break a tackle.
Oh.
Unbelievable play out there by number stepping up. 18 on the play. Number 18 is Stephen Barrios with a great play.
You're starting to see early in that game, Hennessy's ball was loose, but right now he's throwing a very precise, clean, tight spiral. He's warmed up and he's ready to go. Like I said earlier, it's all about what direction you spin. He decided to run back into it and, little ankle tackle to get him down. But
Barrios, really, sometimes you have to guess on an elusive guy like that. You got a 50-50 shot. He's going to make a cut.
A timeout, Tigers.
The Palmetto Tigers call a timeout here. 2nd and 14. Ball is on the 29-yard line. They're going to talk things over.
Only 3 minutes, 50 seconds left to go. Obviously Newsome missed that extra point, so Tigers got, the 1-point advantage going in, looking at the half here. You can run the clock out. We got a great kicker. We saw making 50-yard field goals easily in pregame. So there's no pressure on the Tigers at this point to, get a quick play. Of course, obviously they want to score 7. But, more importantly, let's chew up that 3 minutes, 50 seconds and put some points on the board.
Yeah, I think the first game we talked pregame, they average 6.9 yards per carry. Newsome does. And if you do the math on that, you can wear out those defenses.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's kind of an old school, formula that a lot of people don't use these days. You lose a lot of close games when you play that way.
Yeah.
But you also have the ability to wear people down in that second half.
People think going in at the half allows you to rest and become – more refreshed, but it's really the opposite. Once you go stop running and you sit down, it's hard to get warm back up and be as productive.
A very slow developing play. He turns it inside, gain to the 25. That's going to be enough for the first down, and that was really good job of not – Kieron Jones, he didn't get in front of the play. Watch him – he let those blockers, develop, and that was good.
It looked like he might have cut it back a little earlier on that. Luther had a nice block out there, and he ran around the block versus under it. He might have had a little better gain if he would have done that. It looked like it could have been a hold by Luther, but it wasn't called, so it was not a hold.
Luke Bustle up here, public address announcer, is, saying looks like it could have been a hold on that one. Probably right. Now this time Hennessy steps up, throws the ball late. He's got to throw that one away, and it's
touchdown.
Caught off the deflection.
Wow.
Number 12 for the Tigers, and you're going to get a great look. Jay Washington.
Wow.
Jay Washington.
Unbelievable.
That is a very difficult catch. You will not appreciate that unless you get the look. I know that ball was deflected.
That is a great catch. Not only is it a great catch, Hennessy stepping up like he's going to run and then realizing he's got a receiver open. Now, he underthrew it a little bit, but, it's a mature decision to say, hey, I could go run for 5 yards or I can get this touchdown. Stops short of the line of scrimmage, fires.
Oh, great coverage.
See, he had him open. If he let him a little bit more, oh, what a catch. Wow.
Crazy. That's a hard catch because
that
defender's hands are in front of you. Now the transition, oh, my word.
I think it went over the fence.
It did go over the fence. So that one is good. And, if you think about, I'm a really good kicker and I'm the long snapper now. I'm a quarterback and I'm the long snapper and I'm a really good kicker and I'm the holder. Well, guess what? The eye in the sky don't lie.
That's right.
Everybody's going to be looking at the film here on Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Galloway.
Especially the coaches.
If you're the number one kicker in the country, these guys are getting film, and I'm talking about the specialist. So you think, oh, boy, but you're getting a lot of film of being a very great functioning long snapper. Tom, you were one. Waylon was a long snapper on the sideline down. Very important to football.
In a game like this where there's no field goals, we haven't kicked a field goal yet. You say, how's he going to stand out? Well, those coaches are looking at those extra points and seeing that he put that thing over a fence that's about 15 foot high, 40 yards behind the crossbar. I mean, that's just unreal. I mean, he's been to these camps and he's been named the number one kicker, number two punter. The coaches know who you are in college already. I'm sure he's already had plenty of discussions with college coaches. But, man, it's just so impressive when you see that next level type athlete at any position, and you can clearly see it. Years ago, Duke Johnson playing against us in the playoffs.
Sure.
You could just see that level of talent.
Get a kick out. That one is going to be a penalty, and it's going to be offsides on the Tigers. So that'll be interesting. So that's going to back him up to the college 35. So here it is. You want to know what he can do on Saturday? His opportunity to grab that driver and see if he can put it into that end zone.
The only problem with having a kicker that puts it out of the end zone every time is when he doesn't. The coverage team has to be ready. They cannot get so used to, man, this guy's got such a huge leg. We don't have to worry about it. And they're not really running down like they normally would if they thought there definitely was going to be a return. This is a situation where they might want to take a chance and get a return. I mean, he's not going to put it out of the back of the end zone, I would not imagine here, but you never know.
I think he will. So this is what you'll see on Saturdays. This time he roots that one. It's a low kick. It's going to be very hard to field. No, it settles there, and he's going to be fielded there by Gaffney. He's really got good feet. Cuts it to the middle. Now he jumps outside. Really made a great move out there. And he's all the way to the 40-yard line. Now, we talked about that pregame. We talked about the 112 yards that they had in the kick return game last week.
Right.
And there is you could see that Galloway hit that one a little fat, in the middle of the ball.
Yeah.
And took a very good hop, and Newsome's in great shape.
Gaffney seems to be a very just a natural runner. Like he's finding the holes, just a little back and forth. Just that one little step opened up another 20, 25 yards on that run there. He's got a great eye for where to run.
Gunther, this time he hits a quick hitter out there. Really good tackle out there. And then that was number 12, and that's Max Urbnick again. But really good coverage by Jeremiah Patterson.
What I liked about Patterson, he had him wrapped up, and you see his right hand is in there trying to get that ball, trying to maybe strip it out as the player goes down, which is always great to see.
Time Gunther hits a little X delay. Oh, humongous big hit there.
Wow.
Oh, good gracious. Prayers with that young man. So terrible to see that, and that's Gianni Fiore.
Yeah, that tends to be a back injury. I mean, he just kind of crumpled backwards on that one. That's oof.
And Zion Roberson comes up, a blazing, huge hit, and that's not anything that we celebrate here. Pray for the health of that young man. Down there, Waylon on the Arctic Air sideline, what did that sound like at field level, brother?
That was a significant hit, and I just don't think he was ready for it, and the other young man was able to square up and really lean into it.
Yeah, that's kind of tough to watch, and you can see the concerned fans here. That's a good look. You can see the youth of America. It's great to see that they're actually concerned about another human being.
Yeah.
And 2 minutes and 21 seconds. It's kind of a quiet has fallen over the stadium here at Harllee. But it looks like he is up and moving around. He's up and moving. That's great.
Yeah,
that's great to see. Great to see. So Gianni Fiore, I talked to the trainer that just came out before the game. She was loading up coolers and that kind of things, and I was asking to help. And then Steve, our trainer, showed up in a golf cart. And they have a very educated training staff, medical training staff over there at Newsome. Wow.
I just had a little flashback to that playoff game a few years ago where they had 3 players taken out, in succession, 3 plays in a row. I think one of them was 2 of them in one play.
I've never seen that happen. It happened right here at Harllee.
Sure did, right here in this end zone.
Yep. I hope I never see that again. 2 minutes and 21 seconds on the clock. 3rd and 6. Gunther throws it to the middle of the field, misses his receiver.
So it looked like 15 had his head swiveled around a little bit. I'm not sure what caused that, but he was kind of looking and snapped his head over at the last second as the ball passed. Never really saw the ball come through. But again, he was open. He could have made the catch. So,
and the numbers on the field level are so washed out for us. Now we're trying to pick it up on the TigerVision screen. It's a little better. The long snapper is going to fire this one back. Waylon, your former long snapper, take us through the process here on this play. Let's have a play call.
Okay, yeah. They've got more of a spread out punt formation, so they're going to have a lot of free runners up the middle. The deep snapper's probably going to release as soon as he snaps on this sort of formation. Great snap. Oh, they were all over him on that one. Take it away.
Well, he's going to get away with that one because he got away from once you take 2 steps, you are live. And you are a live target out there.
That's right. It looked like they might have jumped off sides on that right side as well. They didn't call it, obviously, but it looked like somebody got an early start, and that was just I would call that an ugly punt right there. That was not a –
Well, he was looking at a lot of human in front of him, and you saw it. They split the wet protection. I don't know how he got it out of there, really. And then he gets that low driver, which you got to get away from. Really, it settles in for a pretty decent punt. I'm sure Donnie Wilkie with the Sarasota Herald next to me is going to give me the yardage on that one.
It makes you wonder. It makes you think the kids are probably thinking about that punt earlier where they end up getting a penalty, and so they're kind of pulling up a little bit versus following through and just really going for the block. They might have been concerned. So
Tennessee starts out in there with Kieron Joseph. Ooh. Kieron has it, bounces it out first, then steps inside, bounces it out again, has a nice gain on the play.
Wow.
So that's a pickup of about 17 yards.
That was 2 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock to start that play. And if you can keep getting these first downs, drive down this, get a 75-yard drive to go into the half, man, that is huge. Or even a field goal would be massive at this point.
Really showed at the end of the play, though, unselfish, just got out of bounds to stop that clock. So Palmetto, not burning any timeouts here. So it's a good situation for the Tigers. Minute 52 on the clock. That is a big slot receiver out there for the Tigers. What a good look with they throw the little bump. Got a block outside. Got a man. He's going down the side. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. And he's cut down at the 18-yard line. Jock Harris.
Wow. Very explosive. I mean, that's a great play. Hennessy, again, can't say enough about him getting the ball out quickly, giving Jock a chance to really make a play and accelerate through those blocks.
Let's highlight that block, though. Look at that. It is Ace Luther, the tight end. The tight end should not have the foot quickness to be on the sideline to make that block.
I'm not sure calling him a tight end is fair, to be honest with you. He's a very athletic guy for that size.
Wow.
Might have been a hold, possibly, but, hey, again, as Luke says, it wasn't called. It wasn't a penalty. So.
But he came from the right side of the formation in motion and was able to make that block way on the other boundary. This time, really good feet and nice hanging on to that tater. Wow. Shakes out a tackle or two. Still going. Gets space. He just doesn't want to go down. What a ridiculous play by Anthony Peanut Clemens.
Wow. I mean, that is amazing. That is amazing effort right there. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but, man, he refused. He should have been tackled 2 or 3 different times coming around that side. Just amazing. Look at this first one right here. You think the play's over. They got him wrapped up. There's a guy with his arms all the way around his chest. It's over. And he's elusive enough and small enough and stiff arming as he's going out of bounds. I think he got a face mask possibly.
Wow, Anthony, forget about give me the rock, give me the peanut, baby. Peanut out there breaking tackles tonight and ankles. This time Hennessy rolls to his right, settles in. Oh, he makes a nice little, now he throws it late, and it is caught. What a play. Carter in the back of the end zone.
Matthew
How
Hennessy.
about it?
Wow, I'm telling you right now, that is a top-level play right there. That is impressive. That kid, he stopped, and, everybody's going, just, throw the ball away, get what you can on a run. He stopped, and what I like is that he keeps his eyes down the field. He's never given up on the play, but he's a lot of players like that don't give up on the play. Say Jameis Winston, the defense is there, and they're trying to force it into bad spots. He's not. He's looking for the best open receiver, and, man, what a play. That is a huddle highlight for that kid for sure.
Threw the ball with a lot of zip, and, he reminded me, and, tomorrow I'm going to be going to a game. He reminded me of Kyle Trask. He's big. He's running around there. He looks like he's not a mobile running type of quarterback.
Right.
But he was just doing that, waiting for Carter to clear in the back of the end zone.
No difference in what we talked about with Waylon with the lineman earlier is that intelligence. A lot of it has to do with intelligence. He's athletic. He's got a good arm. But the intelligence to know to stop, wait, and continue to look and then deliver to a wide-open receiver. That was an amazing play.
Hunter Ferguson with the snap. Liam Harold with a hold, and the kick is good by Brandon Galloway. So the Palmetto Tigers lead this one with 1:02 in the half, 28-13.
So we go back to the note being passed.
Look at that.
2 minutes and 36 seconds. Yeah, what a play. Look at this. Just enough to be elusive, put the ball in his other hand and to keep it away from the defender.
Are you kidding me?
You don't teach that. That's just.
He's doing that while waiting for Maurice to clear back there in the end
zone. And we spun the ball. There's a penalty for that. We got a penalty for that, too. I didn't even see that. I don't know why everybody wants to spin the ball.
Okay. Anytime that Galloway's kicking an extra point, you can't defer and take that and assess it against the kickoff.
It might be worth it. It might be worth it, though,
Yeah.
He's still going to make it, so.
So here it is. They're going to back him up. And look at this one's back. They're going to call personal foul on this. So we're going to get to see, I would like to see him, Brandon, we've seen him. He's trying to get that ball up in the air and try a different variation. I'd like to see him pull out Big Al here.
Go back to us being up 14-7, and they drive and they tie up that entire quarter, and they score. They miss the extra point, so it's 14-13. But they're feeling pretty good about themselves. Tigers come down and score, get the ball back, stop them, score again. Just like within 3 minutes here, scored twice. 5 minutes, scored twice. I mean, just really a great second half of the second quarter for the Tigers. That's demoralizing for Newsome.
Get a kick out of beautiful four with Minnesota Flooring. This one's going to be caught. Gaffney, as at the 15, he's looking for a blocker out there, patiently driving forward, and he's going to be tackled there finally at the 45-yard line. Good return.
It looked like 30 for Palmetto, I believe there. That wasn't Liam Harold. 34 possibly. 34 is
Josiah
Washington. He looked like he made that play completely by himself. Didn't seem like there was anybody there to assist him. Let's take a look at that again on the Arctic Air replay. He takes on the blocker right here, 34. He's by himself, makes the tackle against two guys, the runner and two guys. And there's nobody there. He has to make the entire play by himself. Great play by him, but Palmetto's got to figure out how to get the help over there to give that young man some assistance.
Now, not really enough time on the clock here if you're going to go ground and pound the whole way out. Probably going to need to mix in a couple passes here. They do have capable receivers out here. Take the ball under center. Gaffney in motion. They hand it to him around the edge. This time, nowhere to go. Number 90 on the play. Tyrone Harris, the sophomore, with a great play.
And a penalty.
Celebration after?
No, I don't think so. It looks like it might have been a personal foul of some type. I didn't see any celebration.
Let's see.
Yeah, personal foul against us. Maybe they blew the whistles dead, and then he threw him right there. That's what he's calling.
There. He's going to get
he's calling 9.
He's going to get the follow through probably by.
I think he's getting 9
okay.
for throwing it throwing him.
Chase Henson on the play, and then 17 over for Isaiah Tyson, who had a very good game last week. You see all those tackles by 17 last week, but now Newsome is knocking at the door here. Plenty of time on the clock, 39 seconds. Need to really pick up a couple first down, maybe via passing. They look for it, the little check down there, about a 6-yard square in, and it goes, we'll call it 5 yards on the play. Clock winds here. Newsome wisely calls a timeout.
You know what I look for here, earlier in the game in the first quarter, Newsome lined up 2 receivers to the right and 1 far out to the left, and they just beat our receiver for a big catch. And I would imagine here shortly they're going to try a couple of passes over the middle, but they're going to try to hit that again before it's over. Just line up their best guy against what we believe is our best guy and see who wins.
What I like on this situation is the 2nd and 5. You're protecting that first down marker over there. This is an awesome opportunity for a wheel route action right in front of the marker. Psst, turn it down the field.
It was wide open earlier.
Because those corners and defenders will squat on that yard marker, and a lot of times you'll see the old out and up down the sideline. So.
Hey, Waylon, can you hear me, Waylon?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Hey, Brian told me you were a pretty good football player. You're offensive lineman, played college football. With a name like Waylon, I got to think, you got some pipes on you or what, brother?
That is one thing I don't have. I did not inherit any of the Waylon Jennings gene. I wish I had. I assure you. If I had been good at music and football, life may have looked different.
There you go.
All right, Waylon. Now that's Arctic Air sideline report, 2nd and 5. This time he rolls to his left. Hot pursuit over there. Ball's high. Don't. Got to pull up on that one. Oh, that could have been called a personal.
We're lucky there. And it wasn't even pull up. The ball was clearly over. He had accelerated into it intentionally. The kid's got to not make those dumb mistakes. The coaches are going to tear him up for that. Zion Roberson, I know his father. I used to work with him. He's a great guy. But, yeah, that was a bonehead play right there.
But Dak Johnson showed some ups there. I thought that thing was way overthrown, and he got his hand on it. Look at the hops. That would have been a good still shot picture from the sideline.
He gives him the old forearm shiver and then holds him up so he didn't fall.
3rd and 5, really big down here. 21 seconds on the clock. Newsome. Gunther. Got the little route out to his knees were. That's going to be close.
They called him down.
They're saying Gaffney was down there. Let's look at that replay on TigerVision.
I didn't think he was down.
I didn't think so either. Trey's good. You know what?
No.
His knee never touched the
ground. The good news is the officials do not have the Arctic Air replay, so.
Yeah, they probably didn't want to look at that, Heinz Jumbotron that's sitting over there. Our great sponsor. Yeah, Heinz Law Jumbotron. For everybody here in the stadium, we have that on the Palmetto home side. And everybody saw it here that his knee didn't touch it. It was quiet as a church mouse. Yeah, so a good break for the Tigers. Clearly, Waylon down on the sideline, clearly from your vantage point, you could see his knee wasn't down. Could you?
Yeah, it didn't look like it from my vantage point, and when I saw it on the Jumbotron as well, it looked like we got a favorable call there.
Yeah, this brings up a big one. 6 seconds on the clock.
What do you think of Brian? Are you thinking anything quick to the outside, or you think this is just going to be a one shot kind of deal?
Maybe you got a single high safety back there, put 2 receivers wide to the boundary, take a look one way and quickly fire it all the way for 6 down the sideline.
They're awful they're kicking a field goal.
Wow, now this is impressive. Okay. So this is going to be a 49-yard field goal here.
49.
Clean exchange, and he got it up, and it's going to be short. I think the Tigers, we may have, if we can go to a super slow motion shot from our Arctic Air replay, perhaps got a piece of that one as the clock goes to zeros.
Yeah. A lot of pressure. They had a lot of pressure on him. Here we go.
Oh, look at this look. You guys are so good down there.
Oh, very close.
Right there. Coming across. Paul Moore in the middle. Just nearly.
20 was close, but he kind of had his head down. He didn't have his head up to see the ball, but, man, it was very close to a block.
This is going to be very exciting Richardson-Stenton halftime. So, in this run-heavy game, I got a message here from Donnie Wilkie here from the Sarasota Herald, and it says, the two QBs have a combined 18 for 24 for 239 yards.
Wow. As much as we talked about running the ball, coming into the game after last week with Newsome. Yeah, so we expected that run, big heavy running game, and we did have quite a bit of running in the first half there. But quarterbacks really kind of showed out a little bit more than we expected.
It's okay. Okay, so they're getting set up on the sideline here.
Like Waylon's got a little side thing for us here. There's a gentleman with a apron on.
All right.
All right, fellas. I got David Marshall down here with me, former NFL football player, and he's here doing something pretty special. And I want him to tell you a little bit about what they got going on.
Well, fantastic. Yes, I'm here with the Good News Grillers, and we're back here helping out with cooking for the concession stands over here, and we're helping the people that are coming out to the game to enjoy the game and then have some good food.
So what exactly is the mission of Good News Grillers? What do you guys do exactly?
So we've served over 18,000 people over the years that we've been in existence, and really what we do is just really ministering to the community. So we're feeding the community whatever they need, whatever they have, a particular event that's coming up, we can participate in that event. We come out, we cook, we do everything for them, basically cook hot dogs, hamburgers, provide the drinks and all that. We set up, we break down. Nothing, no cost to them. Basically, we just come out there and we do that. We really want to serve the community and make the community feel welcome, and that's what we do from that standpoint.
Very good. So right now you're at a high school football game, obviously. What are some other events and things like that y'all have been involved with?
Most of the time that I've been involved with them has been at high school events, but we do different organizations. We'll do senior citizen homes. We'll go out to different fairs. So it's a lot of different opportunities that we have. There's so many things going on in the community around here. So there's unlimited potential for us. So if you need something, if you want to have us come out, definitely get in contact. Jim Corbett is my guy. That's who I work with. And Jim is the guy that you need to contact.
Thank you. So if you have anything you'd like assist, give Good News.
Hey, guys, I'm just looking at their website.
You're watching TigerVision, presented by Conley Buick GMC. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hello, I'm Greg Ellie of the Prosperity Group. Do you have an annuity? You hear a lot of things in the internet about annuities. You hear how bad they are, yet about 80% of people have some form of annuity. Many of you have an annuity that's probably over 2 to 3 years old. Did you know that right now you could refinance that annuity and potentially get higher guarantees, greater income, even if you've already started income? If you want to learn about it, go to mymoneyissafe.com.
It's morning again in Palmetto. Today, over 1,000 people will move from other states to Florida. Jobs and industries are rebounding, and so are the housing markets. It is no better time than the present to invest in quality real estate here. A safe and friendly place for your kids to play. A thriving hometown culture immersed in historic districts like no other. A place to turn a house into a home. Palmetto proud. Matthew Guthrie and Associates Realty.
Hello, I'm Scott Whitaker with Arctic Air Services. We started our business from the ground up and grew it based on the service end of the industry. We own over 50 vehicles, which we depend on every day to make our business run smoothly. We know the value and importance of offering great production and excellent service. That's why we choose Connolly Buick GMC, because they provide us with the best cars and trucks and have a service department second to none. Next time you're in the market for a vehicle, I highly recommend Connolly Buick GMC, where they'll treat you like family.
Hey guys, it's Alan Conley from Conley Buick GMC. Halftime's almost over, so make sure you stay tuned. Go Tigers!
Hey, back to the Richardson Stenton halftime show. We always thank our great sponsors out there. And, this time of the season, Tom, as you know, that family, Robbie, I know Chase Richardson. It was fun 2 games ago. We were playing against Chase Richardson on the other side. I think our Chase Richardson could outrun him because the kid was 6'4", 275. But it's great to have that in our own community. And I have to say, with Robbie and Ed Richardson and Chase Richardson, my family, we've all got those nice Richardson Stenton roofing roofs on our homes. My brother, my mother, myself, etc., and on. Good friends, and probably some of the safest people during those storms was my family, my extended family, Jordan Varnett, or my son, his home. All of us were protected, and I just love the quality work that they do, and then being kind enough to step up to us and say, hey, can we help you out, guys, was just great for, the home team here.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing about this community, Palmetto, Bradenton, Parish. There's a lot of people that are like that. They're just good families. We have a lot of great companies around here, but there are only a few that step up in that way. And when you say the name Richardson Stenton Roofing, when you say Arctic Air Home Services, when you say these names, you immediately know the owner. You usually have their number on your phone. You can call them directly. I've known Robbie Stenton and Tammy Stenton my whole life, basically, on the softball fields at Blackstone through church and other things. And it's just great to know that they do a great job. They are nice, good people that try to give the best deal they can for you. And at the same time, they're willing to put their money where their mouth is and come out and support local athletics, local charities. They're involved in many things, not just not TigerVision and things they're making money off of. It's more just that they have big hearts, and they're truly Palmetto people, and they love to give back. And I love to see it. And with the storms last year, having a good, solid roofer you can call is so important. I mean, it really is. And a lot of people were devastated last year, and knowing, like you said, you and your family, and to have a good quality roof put on by someone that and if there's a problem, you call them directly, they're going to handle it. It's just peace of mind. It's one thing you don't have to worry about with uncertain times like the hurricanes and things we've had to deal with.
So we just, we have so many people in our community, and that was a great, it was a little bit of an ad hoc. We could put that together there at halftime. Waylon did a great job, but, people serving the community, and Waylon's involved down there on Arctic Air sideline. He's involved in the youth community. He comes from a culture of service. And, and that's why he was willing to say, I said, look, I have no sideline guys. Dan West is out. Troy Bellamy's out. Tom's going to be in the box with me. Waylon, I know you're a good speaker. You know how to work technology a little bit.
Oh.
And you ain't scared. So can I give you a T-shirt and a hat to throw on tonight? And you can come down and help us make it happen. And it's just great in this community. And he does have a communications degree. That kind of helps.
Oh, yeah, that definitely helps.
Yeah, and but it was great to have him jump in, and help us when we have a need here. The volunteer army here is amazing, and then of course the sponsors that just have really propped us up over the years. It's just a blessing to be. Let's talk about the game a little bit, Tom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we talked about Richardson Stenton, but the game itself, looking Hennessy with the first 2 incomplete passes. Well, then he goes and it ends up at the end of the first half 11 for 14. So he didn't miss much over there. The play where he changed the hands over and stepped up and threw, that was incredible. I thought a lot of good play. I was impressed by the one run by Peanut Clements there where he was driving and doing his thing. I really believe Newsome's a pretty doggone good football team.
Yeah, I think so. They obviously, like we talked earlier, they're coached well. They don't seem to make a lot of mistakes. They execute very well. But, a couple of these plays that Palmetto's made, Peanut running the ball, that's core strength, buddy. That is will, determination, and just natural core strength. Not a very big guy, but, man, it took 4 or 5 guys, and I don't think he ever really went down until he was out of bounds. But, he was not going to be denied, and that was amazing. And like you said, Hennessy, I didn't even catch the hand thing the first time we saw it, but watching the replay, for him to have the peace of mind, not only to cut back from the defenders who were trying to cut him off from running, move forward, have the presence of mind to move the ball away from the defender as he reached in, switch it back to his hand, put his feet in a good position. Throwing the ball in that situation is one thing, but getting a good stance and delivering the ball a nice tight spiral to the back corner of the end zone. Man, that's a next level play. That kid really impressed me on the play. He's definitely gaining confidence as he goes. And like we said, no varsity experience. He was a JV quarterback at Manatee last year. Manatee, who lost last week, seems to be struggling this week with Southeast so far. They might be missing them some Michael Hennessy right now. Not Michael, that's his brother, Matthew Hennessy right now. But yeah, Michael, his brother, was a great athlete in his own right. Getting married here soon, good buddy of mine. Just the Tiger offense really came alive in that second quarter and made some outstanding plays.
And really the players, Zion Roberson just going down the line here, defensive back, playing Kieron Jones, running back, Jock Harris, receiving the ball. Eighth Luther's been kind of quiet. Maurice Carter has been doing his thing. Shane Partridge made some good plays. Along the defensive line, Chase Henson, it was Jay Washington. You've got, guys all across. Isaiah Tyson, number 17 last week, he was incredible. Moore generally is the leading, 24. Paul Moore usually has tackles for losses, but Isaiah was, beating him to the punch last week behind the line of scrimmage. He's shown great promise. Josh Barnes, we see him do such good things. Of course, and then you have your guys that are doing the right thing. Liam Harold back there, and a very good quarterback as a long snapper, Hunter Ferguson. And we talked about that earlier. And down the list. Now let's talk about the big heavies here. Stefan Arista, we never talk about him. 6'5", 330 pounds. He's a senior left tackle. Mason Myers, 6'4", 275. Romeo at McAllister, 6'3", 290. David Hayes, center, he's 6'3", 300 pounds, down the line. And then Zion Lee, number 99, 6'3", 300 pounds. And other group that we don't ever talk about, is we've got Eric Sanders, the head coach. We talk about them, but Matt Arcadia doing a great job putting things together on a different, unique offense defensively. Shaquille Harris, Les Hewitt, Jim Lacey, Ty Scott, Brett Toma, Kyle Toma, and Malik Treadwell. The coaching staff here, you can see that they are really doing a lot of work, so we're very appreciative of what's going on here at Palmetto High School.
Shaq Harris, an ex-player at Palmetto. He was a Tiger back in the day. Great receiver for us, helping us with these receivers this year. He's been on the coaching staff several times, got some experience. Matt Brazelton is the stalwart. He's always here. I mean, he actually left for a short time, went over to Braden River, and ended up coming back with Coach Sanders before the season even started. One person I wanted to point out here, and I just noticed this number 90, Tyron Harris.
Yeah.
Doesn't have his height. It says he's 250. I think that's probably not a right number. I think he's a little heavier than that. But he's a 10th grader, and it shows him as an offensive lineman. So I don't know if he's been an offensive lineman and now they're giving him the opportunity. I don't know if there's been an injury or something that allowed him to get and play defensive tackle. But I'm telling you, this kid has got some quick feet and good hands, and I look for big things from him coming up this season. I mean, he's very impressive for a sophomore. I was very excited to see how disruptive he was in the backfield.
And then, number 99, Big Zion Lee, 6'3", 300-pound junior.
Yeah.
So it's been, there's been a lot of standout here tonight. And I'm going to apologize to the Newsome fans tonight. Under the new LED lights, what's happening here, we're getting washed out a little bit from the press box with all the humidity.
You got me
here.
up there. I'm here with Coach Sanders. I just want to ask you a quick question. What are you hoping to shore up a little bit here in the second half?
Just play cleaner football, get rid of the penalties. Just play. It's whistle to whistle.
There, you guys are swarming to the ball. Good luck in the second half.
Yes, sir.
All right, Waylon. I appreciate that Arctic Air sideline report checking in. That was head coach Eric Sanders with the sideline interview. Often very difficult to do with a high school coach to grab them up at a sideline. They're still thinking about the outcome of the game.
He's a pretty thin guy, too, so he runs pretty quick. So I've tried to catch him a few times for interviews, and, man, he's got his mindset. He's going. So you got to have a plan in place to get him. I interviewed him last year, asked him a few questions during the game, and then afterwards I was talking to him, and I said, I used to really not like you. And he said, I know. So I think he watched TigerVision back in those old days where, Braden River and Palmetto, and he was offensive coordinator over there that seemed to just always find a way to hit that tight end on 3rd and 16 or something to really, get that Braden River team over the hump. And, man, he just drove us crazy for so many years. I'm so glad he's on our side. And you can tell with this offense that his hands are all in it, and you can see the style. We had Coach Marino here for years, and he's an offensive coach. Ty Stolt was an offensive coordinator for many, many years, and we got used on TigerVision to seeing that offense. And there's some pieces of that in this offense, but at other times it's totally different. And it's interesting to see the other style, and I think the offense is only going to get better as we go. I mean, it's with this quarterback playing the way he's playing. I think it's going to be, especially if we get the running game going, I think we're really going to have a great offense and put some big numbers up this year.
Over the years with the technology, I used to be able to hear the offensive coordinator up there above us, when Coach Sanders was playing for or coaching for the opposition. And how they look over the sideline and reset things. And then I would try to, keep my head. I'm not going to tip plays or anything or yell out the window, here's what's coming. But as the play would break, I would think, that's going to work, and it was painful.
Yeah.
It was painful to know what was coming because I could hear the coaches up above us, and I thought, well, they got us.
Yeah. Sitting here looking at some score stream updates here, and Parrish is up 27-0 over Bayshore. That's no surprise. Manatee struggling a little bit. They're up 14-8. It was 8-7. Southeast was up just before the half, but Manatee was able to score 14-8. So that's an interesting outcome there. Sarasota Sailors, they're up 21-7 in the second quarter over Braden River, and of course here are Tigers up 28-13 over Newsome.
Well, it's been a really interesting half of football where you got 13 seconds on the clock. The good news for the Palmetto Tigers is they're going to start with the ball on offense. Newsome is now going to prepare to kick this one off, get a kick out of having a great floor with our friends at Minnesota Flooring. Still no 48 on the roster. We've been trying to work through that. We got the Sarasota Herald, Donnie Wilka. We've got Luke. Everybody's trying to get it, but we don't have it. We apologize to the Newsome fans out there.
Be nice to see another return here. Decent return from the Tigers.
We got Jock Harris back there. And it is a driving kick. And it's going to be a nice kick, 5 yards deep in the end zone.
Very nice kick.
So the Palmetto Tigers will have the ball. 12 minutes on the clock. We're going to start the second quarter from the 20-yard line.
during the broadcast, I always get texts from people that I know that are viewing, and I got one from Chase Kickoff. Remember that name?
Oh, yeah, Chase. I love Chase.
Old Chase played here at Palmetto, played Braden River a little bit when he was a sellout for a short time, and then went on to play at Albion College up in Michigan. And he said for me to say that Coach Sanders is the best offensive coordinator in the area. He said, just say it. So I'm saying it, Chase.
Just let it rip.
Chase is my boy.
Chase is kind of got – I saw him and his dad. They were out there fishing.
Yeah.
Tim and Chase were out there. Chase has got kind of swole. He's been hitting the weight room a little bit. I guess all of us do, right?
Or the buffet. One of the two. I mean.
All right, Matthews now takes this one from the shotgun at actually pistol depth. And really pretty decent sound defense. A 1-yard loss on the play for Kieron Jones.
Seemed a little hesitant, hitting the hole. I don't know if somebody was right in the hole and caused him to kind of sidestep a little bit. Didn't look like he had a lot of energy headed towards the hole in that play.
And I think really Ben Sanchez, number 72, the senior, really stepped up and made a good play. And also involved in the play was number 8, and that is Colton Porter.
Oh, can't go wrong with a Porter.
Nice looking blocks up front, driving forward for the first down. Ball's out, scrambling back to it is number 70, and that is big Michael Sanders, 6'1", 300.
That was a nice run, obviously. Very, very powerful run. Looked like he had the first down. I'm not sure what happened for the ball to pop out, if it was stripped out or if he just dropped it. Let's see the replay here.
But the good news for Michael, he's got himself, he's in the books with rushing yardage at the completion of that play.
There you go.
3rd and 5 now. Hennessy is back there with Shane Partridge in the backfield this time. Coming across the formation is number 4, Ace Luther. Throws a quick hitter out there on the route. He caught the ball at the marker. Wow, and somehow spun out of the tackle and picked it up anyway.
Again, I'm not trying to continuously talk about the quarterback, but what do they tell you to do? When the defense is blitzing, you throw to where they're blitzing from, because there's going to be a hole there, and that's exactly what Hennessy did. Blitz comes in, the Tigers were able to hold it up long enough, and he threw right to where the blitz was coming from and completed it. And a great play by 3.
Chuck Harris, that's crazy.
Yeah, 36 kind of whiffed on him a little bit there, but that was a great one-legged lean forward for the first down.
Hustling out there to make the play to 74, Hudson Sanchez out there. Partridge. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. So just not a loss on the play, just no gain, so that brings up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, like I said earlier, defensive line slightly undersized, but they're doing a great job. That's 66 playing defensive tackle there. We thought he was an offensive lineman. Maybe he's doing both. I'm not sure, but he definitely is doing a good job. That defensive line is really holding the Tigers up for the majority of these plays.
Yeah, that's Maston. His name is Christian Mastandrea. That's a good name.
Yes.
Oh. Wow, look at that defense. You got an 8-9 Newsome Wolves involved in the tackle. So
yeah, it looked like
Kieron really had nowhere to go.
As soon as he got the ball, there was a player right in his face. They're obviously selling out for the run at this point. They know we're going to want to get this clock running, and so they're going to sell out to it. So 3rd down and 12 here?
Yeah, that play is like swimming with piranhas down there. That was crazy looking. 8:54 on the clock here in the 3rd. Hennessy looks over a 3rd and 12. Fakes the handoff, rolls back, steps up. Nice play. Oh, unbelievable play by the quarterback.
Wow.
First down, Ace Luther.
That was an unbelievable, once again, to elude the defender who's right in his face as soon as he comes out, sidesteps him, and delivers the ball perfectly. I mean, you can't ask for much more on that play. That is tremendous on 3rd down. That right here, look at that sidestep, sets his feet, delivers the ball perfectly.
On the money.
You can't do any better than
Away
that.
from the defender, he had it through it a little. That was just a great play.
That is awesome. Great job. I think we've found a diamond in the rough here with old Hennessy.
Yeah, he's looking good tonight. They're bringing everybody. Oh, you want to hit him with a shallow crosser, but the Palmetto Tigers choose to run, and K-Ron's trying to bounce off a tackle. Took a nice gain of about 4 on the play.
And again, the most important thing, that clock's just running. And that's what the Tigers are wanting to do, and Newsome knows it. And that time they just guessed the wrong side and didn't have the proper coverage. Not a very big run, but, I mean, it tied up a lot of time. That's 4 yards, and keep the ball rolling.
You know, you're seeing those linebackers wash down here, and we know the sequential play calling Sanders. If they keep doing that, you're going to see that shallow crosser.
100%.
Going across there. Luther lines up outside on the right. Partridge with a really nice – he's got good feet. He runs over defender, first down.
Super quick. I mean, he is super quick, and he picks the hole and he hits it, 100 miles an hour. He's ready to go. Not a lot of indecision on this guy.
Great blocking on that play by
and I think running back coming into this season was kind of an unknown for us. We weren't real sure what we had, but I've been pretty impressed, so far tonight.
That was a good, running back kick returner making a tackle. Trey Curatelli playing on the defensive side of the ball tonight. Pistol depth. Kebron Jones. The amazing little spin. He's fighting hard. Got to be careful there, and he goes for a loss of 4. That's when you get your arms extended and you're fighting so hard for the extra yard and you end up with an injury. You got to be careful.
Yeah, sometimes it's not the best idea to just keep pushing and pushing. I mean, if you're trying to get a first down, it's one thing, but he's getting beat up on this play pretty bad. And you worry about the ball security, too. He's got one hand on the ball, and it just doesn't take much for someone to do the little peanut punch and knock it out of there, and then we got a problem.
Getting closer and closer to the water break here in the third quarter. There's a stoppage of play.
But up by 2 touchdowns, obviously, we just run 5 minutes off the clock.
It's an official timeout, water break.
Injury timeout as well as a water break timeout. Again, we want to thank Coach Orr Orthopedics for keeping our players healthy and safe.
There's that TigerVision crew.
Look at that.
Stress box.
That place is horrible.
It can be. I've walked in there many times and read the room and turned around and walked right back out.
That's like, being up in the Air Force on the Vomit Comet. If you walk in there, the activity in there is so intense.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of time it heats up. There's got so many things cooking in there.
And you walk in and you have no idea it's happening, and then it just hits you like, oh, okay.
And it's incredible. Even guys like us, they're even tonight. They're even making our Arctic Air sideline guy, Waylon, look pretty good tonight. What did you think, Waylon?
Got Dwight Andrus on there?
Yeah, with Dwight Andrus and Tim Spears down there.
Dwight Andrus, my old boss at Mosquito Control.
There he is, Tim Spears.
He was the head larvicider. Look at him. He didn't even know he's famous. Look at him.
That's my cousin. Did you know that?
I did not. I'm sorry about that.
That's my cousin down there, man.
His hair looks exactly the same as it did in 1995 when I worked for him. He really hasn't aged very much at all.
He's a tough linebacker. He was a tough linebacker here at Palmetto High School. Parsons. Carter squats down on that reception. Shows some good feet, but really good coverage over there by the entire right side of the defensive formation. So coming over to make tackle, involved. I don't believe it was Gaffney. Let's see. We've got number 1 there, which is Trey Coratelli, a junior. He's had some nice plays tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I'd like to see some forward movement here. I'm not sure, what's going on. We're kind of getting stuck here with these little pop passes and the runs. We're getting stoved up just a little bit here.
Yeah, a note here from Donnie Wilkie. Hennessy has hit 11 consecutive. This is the 11th play of the drive. Now he rolls to the right. Looks all the way to the sideline. Whoa. Man, Hennessy he's calm as a cucumber.
He is. I'm telling you. You mentioned Kyle Trask earlier.
Yeah.
And it's that same style.
It is
when Philippi Franks went down, and I was cheering, not that he was hurt, but that, man, they're starting quarterbacks out. This is going to be, he stepped up. Trask came in and just looked like that. Looks so calm. It's such a skill for a quarterback. Cam last year for Miami, Cam Ward.
Oh yeah.
Looked like he was playing backyard ball. He wasn't, but I mean, he just handled the pressure so well. Hennessy obviously has got a long way to go to get to that level. But I mean, as far as just that mental coolness, it's great to see.
Hunter Ferguson is going to snap this one back to Brandon Galloway. He's going to kick this one from the 42-yard line. Runs to the left. Drives a very high, very difficult to catch kick. Get on it. And the ball is a touchback. Several of the people, including myself, who look up. The ball is coming down. It would have we could have downed that one at the 1.
We haven't had many punts last game, and I think that's the first one this game, correct?
Correct.
So I mean, they got to get used to that. They got to get used to the fact this guy is skying these punts. I mean, it's his first year here at Palmetto, and they'll get used to it because the coaches are definitely going to see those opportunities wasted. That was close to being down right inside the 5-yard line there.
Was that his own 42? Where did he kick that from, Tom? I forgot.
I don't know. I think it was a little closer. I think it was right around here.
So it's
50, maybe.
Yeah, well, let's call it 50-yard line. It would be a 50-yard punt.
Yeah.
Net 30. But Gunther closed it out there. He's got him. Gaffney slipped out of the backfield. Goes for about an 8-yard pickup on the play.
Gaffney with the reception. Push out of bounds by
Yeah, obviously the Tigers for their entire drive, you said it was 11-play drive, and it being 12 with the punt, I guess. And we ran, 8 minutes off the clock, basically, 7 minutes off the clock. Newsome wants to do just the opposite. They want to stop the clock. They want to get first downs and stop the clock and get as much time in as they can to make up that 15-point deficit.
Really good play on first down there. Coming the completion, got the offensive player to step out of bounds, stop the clock. Now they pound the rock to the middle, and that is number 17, and that is Isaiah Tyson. We talked about him early, 6'1", 245.
And there was 2 players right in the backfield, Tyson, and there was one other right on top of that. The fact that they're able to get in the backfield so easily is pretty impressive. They're very athletic defense.
Now we'll see the strategy here. What we've seen is a couple of little. We've had some digs, kind of the old hook type or stop routes out there. See if they've tried to pull off one of those about 7 yards down the field. There it is. That's a little shallow crosser, incomplete.
Well, that was a nice attempt there. I'm assuming that's the tight end coming across there, number 11, maybe not. But he jumped up and he had a good shot to make that catch. Quarterback has been putting the ball where only their players can get it. They don't always bring it down, but I think that was a catchable ball, and he just couldn't quite come down with it. So, Newsome offense kind of stalls here.
And this could get exciting. Jock Harris is going to go back there to return this one. Michael Smith goes back to fire this one out.
Remember the last one, he barely got through there. It was almost blocked. Barely got through there.
Let's see if he can add on to that 27 yards. Boy, that is a low kick. And it's effective. It goes out of bounds.
Well,
fortunately, that would have been one of those, if he kicked it to the number 3 out there, that's a problem.
Yeah, he definitely is not someone who puts a lot of loft on the kick. But I'll tell you, it was a nice snap. He caught it clean. A lot better protection this time than they had last time. Last time, number 2 kids almost blocked it. He had to kind of just punch it through somehow, but same result, but a much better job by that Newsome special teams.
Well, let's kick it down to our Arctic Air sideline reporter. Waylon, you feeling lowly down there?
Got a lot of the boys hanging out with me down here. They started off the second half pretty good, so it looks like they might add to this lead here in just a minute.
What's the demeanor down there? The kids seem like energetic. If they got a lead, do you think do they act like they're not really into the game? Are they fired up? What are you feeling down there?
They've been pretty well locked in, but right now there's a bit of a lull. I think they're in need of a big play.
All right, and as you mentioned there is a delay of game there against the Tigers.
that's the thing with this style offense, and we've done it the same way. You call a play, they get up there, the defense lines up, they stop, they look at the coach, and that takes a lot of time, obviously. So, if there's any miscommunication at all, or you get the wrong personnel on the field, that happens quite a bit with this style offense.
Twin receivers on the right side of the formation, single out there to the left. Hennessy hands the ball off. Boy, there's a big hit. And 35 comes up. No, it's number 7 comes up, and that's Isaac Saudi. And he really got the worst end of that one. Kieran Jones with a really tough run.
That's going to be a nice replay in slow motion of him absolutely just trucking that kid. That was crazy. He's low to the ground. He's got that leverage, man, and he just exploded through that play.
You didn't think that he was that. It looked like a much bigger back the way the impact was on that one. This time he bounces it outside, changes the ball over in the hands. A good play there by number 8. That is Colton Porter. And, of course, he's an athlete. All Porters are athletes, right, Tom?
Well, most of them. I wouldn't say all. My sisters aren't very athletic,
but she probably looks good. Right, and then there's
my
you,
sister,
and then there's you. So.
My sister. We're not in West Virginia.
Hey, speaking of that, let's go to the Arctic Air sideline reporter that played a lot of time at Shaita. Say it, please, for me, Waylon.
That hit I just saw a little while ago. I might feel that one on Monday, but West Virginia took a stray there. Huh?
Yeah,
it happens.
You spent your time in Arkansas. That's a big step up. And now Shane Partridge drives forward 2 really nice cuts on the play. First down, Tigers.
And I love the little stutter step movement there. He's got such quick feet. See this replay here. He stutter steps twice. Right here, boom, 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 cuts it in. Boom, 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 cuts it back out. And then finishes strong. I love when they finish strong, put the head down, and just get that extra 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah. The offensive linemen, when they watch this, they're saying, we had 3 or 4 really good blocks on that play.
Oh, yeah.
And the back had time to sit around and dance around, and you didn't mention us a word. The offensive line was great. Partridge with a really sharp cut. Turns it inside, going forward 20, down to the 18-yard line.
We talked earlier about the fact that, running the ball in the first quarter was a little tough. Second quarter got a little better. And as you lean on them, you come out of the half, they're tired. The 300-pound linemen are just wearing them out at this point. And, linemen love, as a former lineman, they love a running back like that always finishes moving forward. What was Quincy Washington we had here years ago? And just always, you think he's done, and he's 3 yards forward all of a sudden. And this kid seems to be very similar.
Wow. So, notes from Don Wilkie here. It's Palmetto has had the ball for all but 101 of this quarter.
A little run to the right side by number, 14?
That's Peanut Clemens.
Peanut.
Anthony Clemens. I don't have enough space when I'm doing my rosters and the names, but I had written down Peanut. It didn't quite make it. You're never going to get it. I wrote it down. It's like 14 Anthony Peanut Clemens. So first and goal for the Tigers.
There's been several Clemens family athletes in Palmetto. I'm assuming he may be related to some of those. Coach Clemens was a coach, a local coach here in football.
Tigers with 2 receivers out to left, and then they've set up Peanut Clemens. Anthony's out there as a wide receiver to the short side boundary. Timeout called by Palmetto. First timeout of the half.
In the third quarter.
Yeah, 28-13, 46 seconds. This quarter's gone by very fast. Palmetto run the ball so well. The set clock is basically a running clock at this point. What was that stat? You said they've had it all but for a minute and 1 second.
Yeah, there you're gobbling that clock up. And
defensive adjustments,
And defensively, it's a miserable thing when you can't stop the run. Right. We've seen it with power backs, but you know what? You've seen today or tonight we've seen it with Duke Johnson and dudes like that going for 300-yard games. What you've seen from Palmetto, it's a host of backs.
That's it.
You've got Kieran Jones is doing his thing. You've got all the other backs that are just different sizes, different looks. Shane Partridge is in there. Peanut comes in there, number 14, and does his thing. It's been a wealth of places to go for the Tigers. Here's another one.
Kieran Jones.
So Kieran, he's like
Untouched. It didn't look like anybody got his hand on it. There's a penalty in the back of the end zone there. I'm not sure if that's
he spiked the ball. When he's going out of there, he flipped the ball and he spiked the ball. That's going to be a penalty here. And you can see the coaches are entrusting.
Coach Sanders did not look happy with that penalty. You know, especially you start putting it together, your offense is humming, everything's going good, and then somebody makes a bonehead play, which, you know, they're known to do sometimes. But
man, nice play by Keyron.
Is that 34-13 at this point? Scoreboard hasn't adjusted yet.
Ferguson with the snap. Harold with the hold. Galloway with the kick, and it is up. And it did not clear the fence this time, so we're not going to have to chase that one down. 42 seconds in the third quarter. The Palmetto Tigers lead this one 35-13.
35-13. That's awesome. Look at this replay here, Brian.
We've got the end zone cam here tonight. Look at that look.
Pylon cam.
He
slams it. There you go.
Yeah, you can see, boy, he had some good hops on the slam, but you don't spike the ball. That is our first look from the pylon cam.
That's awesome.
You know, we've had the yellow first down line. We've experimented with technology.
Those two guys in the booth back there, Jordan and Chad, are always trying some new type of technology. Some of it's worked great, some of it not so much. That one was pretty cool. I like that pylon cam.
Speaking as a Palmetto High alum, you know, today I couldn't get a conversion for the rosters coming off and doing that, so I had to type up rosters. Newsome, you know, there's 88 of them there, you know. And I wanted to thank Gwendolyn Brown. That was my typing teacher here at Palmetto High School.
Oh, yeah.
She'd be very pleased to know that I'm up to 40 words a minute, but the biggest contribution she made is I taught my 3-year-old son, Jordan, how to type, and he is, you know, cranks way over 150 words a minute. So Gwendolyn Brown, my typing teacher here. I just wanted to say that as a Palmetto person.
And for all you kids that don't know what typing is, I mean, we literally had to take a typing class in 6th grade. It's crazy.
Yeah. 42 seconds on the clock. Now, this one is going to be kicked from the 25-yard line, and this is a short approach.
Going to be a return on that one.
Yeah, he skied that one. It's going to be Gaffney gathers it at the 15, looking for an edge. He's being chased there. Oh, great play.
Oh, he's calling a penalty.
No, that was not a horse.
That was all Jersey.
So Jabari Demo Smith, you know, 6 foot, 185. What you'll see on the TigerVision replay, I hope, is that he had him around the shoulder, Tom.
It could have been where he raked across the face mask and then got the shirt, the jersey, but he definitely had jersey.
Gaffney's got really good skills back there.
Nope, it's all jersey the entire time.
Yep, there it is.
That is not a penalty. It wasn't a horse collar. It wasn't none of that stuff. That's a bad call.
Arctic Air Signline reported, Waylon, did I hear you being rough down there with the officiating crew?
Yeah, I was not a fan of that call for sure. Hey, real quick, we did have an injury update. Maurice Carter got rolled up on a couple plays before that touchdown, but looks like he just got spatted up, and he's looking like he's going to jump back in the game anytime now.
Love the
spatted up. I like it.
And if you don't know, that's taping up the ankle over top of the cleats.
I do know what that is.
For those that
that was a nice break on the ball by number 11, Kyron Davis. He was very close to having an interception there. That would have been a touchdown as well. So, he's upset at himself. He had a great shot there to pick that one up.
You know, Waylon, you probably haven't seen with the muddy fields that we have here, the guys that spat up those legs over the ankles, over the outside of the cleats, slip a lot on these fields. New synthetic fields. Yeah. It's kind of an old tradition. And
it looks really cool, though.
It looks really sweet, but it gets slippery.
I was probably one of the only centers in high school football back in the day that did that. But I paid the penalty, too. I was slipping and sliding when I had to get outside the box.
There you go. See?
Well, these jerseys now are so nice. They got elastic armbands and all that stuff. We didn't have that, so you'd have to take the bottom of your sleeve and tie it up real tight, and then your buddy would wrap tape around it, and then you could shove that inside so it looked like your, sleeves didn't have those Palmetto down to your elbow sleeves like you saw back in the day.
You know, looking at the field here, number 12, Max Urbanek is, he's a really good-looking receiver out there. He shows some good strength. That's quarter winds to zeros. The Palmetto Tiger with a 35-13 lead over Newsome.
You're watching TigerVision, presented by Conley Buick GMC. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
It's morning again in Palmetto. Today, over 1,000 people will move from other states to Florida. Jobs and industries are rebounding, and so are the housing markets. It is no better time than the present to invest in quality real estate here. A safe and friendly place for your kids to play. A thriving hometown culture immersed in historic districts like no other. A place to turn a house into a home. Palmetto proud. Matthew Guthrie and Associates Realty.
Hey, I'm just getting some great news from the Sarasota Herald here. Hennessy, that is 15 consecutive completions, 155 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that's good news for the Tigers.
Efficiency at its best right there. I mean, and those, that can be deceiving sometimes, little short passes, safe passes, but, man, many of those have not been. They've been very athletic, very intelligent plays that he's made, like 2 or 3 of them, just very impressive by Mr. Hennessy.
Gunther will take this one out of the pistol. He's going to go empty formation this time. 2 backs on both sides. Flips it down. Really good route. And completion.
I think he dropped it.
He dropped it, and that was number 12. We just talked about him, Matt Urbanek.
Yeah, this quarterback for Newsome he's been pretty efficient tonight. He hasn't missed very many receivers. Now, they haven't caught them all. They've had some problems bringing the ball in. But he's been pretty solid getting the ball where it needs to be. That was definitely not his fault.
And going to back is Michael Smith to punt this one away, and it's going to be number 3, Jock Harris, back there for the return. Okay, Waylon, I'm going to start with the start of the punt, and I want you to pick it up while the ball's in the air, and he gets the punt off. It's blocked.
Got a little bit on it. It's comes up short. They're going to let it roll dead there about the 50, it looks like. Oh,
that's
he's
right.
Pick it up and run with it. And he was immediately swerved.
All right, it was partially blocked back there, and so he wanted his live ball, and I'm a football player. I want to get some points.
And there's a personal foul.
Kyron Davis.
They're calling a personal foul against us for running into the kicker. We blocked the ball.
You can't call – he did get a piece of that. Let's wind that back on the TigerVision replay and see if he got a piece of the ball here.
The way the punter's been kicking the ball, it may have come out sideways. There's
a face mask there.
Yep.
Okay. So there was a face mask on the tackle. Okay, let's look at this. Oh, what a look. He got a piece of that.
It looked like he may have.
And the fans are looking into the Jumbotron at field level. They're showing that. Boy, that's a good look over there on the Heinz Law Jumbotron.
I think he had to have a piece because it came this direction. It went left to right,
Let's see. Let's see the rotation of the ball. So
wow. Get the ball back. Unreal.
Yeah, it looked like a partially blocked punt from here. Newsome with a good break there. Gunther rolls. Oh, big hit. Throws it high and almost caught on the deflection.
Wow, that would have been a great play, huh?
And was that Henson back there?
We just got another penalty.
And that number 9. Henson maybe?
No, number 10 just got the penalty. He did the whole seatbelt thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Palmetto's playing very well, but they're making some very dumb mistakes with all these personal fouls. Not the punt, block, or whatever happened there, but just these celebration things that we go. We've had 3 or 4 already. You can't beat big teams, keep giving the other team chances like this. So they're gonna have to tighten this up for sure.
Yeah, here let's take a good look. Boy, Henson with a good rush. Must have been some yapping after the catch. That is the difference between when you get further along champions and ones that are close.
Yeah.
We've seen that here at Palmetto High School. One thing that we've seen, better discipline out of Palmetto High School, mid-season last year throughout, the first couple of games here. But, a couple of little iffy plays here remind you of some of those hard situations that you get when you play past the whistle and do things like that.
head coach Sanders in 19th year, just letting him know he was not very happy with that penalty.
Yeah, Palmetto now 12 for 125 yards of penalties.
Wide open. Oh.
Good play. Great play by number 20 coming over and close on that, and that is going to be Josh Barnes. No, 21 is Jeffrey Douglas over there.
You know, the receiver was wide open. They put a little too much air into that ball. It would have been a completed pass for a big gain. I'm not really sure whose responsibility. The last time the linebacker didn't drop back to cover that area, I'm not sure if that's who it was. But, man, it just seemed like a big hole in that sideline like earlier in the game.
Yeah, one of the analytics that I like to look at when I break down football and I got this message here from Don Wilkie here, Palmetto 12 for 125 yards penalty. That's basically giving a touchdown away. Oh, there's that shallow crosser and the really big hit there. Coming in there's Paul Moore.
That's a great tackle. He is a solid tackler. I mean, a lot of kids, you see these, arm tackles and things, man. He squares up and he really delivers a solid blow to the receiver on that pass. No yards after catch. Oh.
10:52 on the clock. Gunther. He's got Trey Gaffney in the backfield with him this time. Right and left Sarkar. 3 receivers out to the right. Boy, plenty of time to throw this time. Throws it out there to Gaffney late. And good tackle on the sideline. Paul Moore drives him out of bounds after a gain of a couple.
Yeah, again, Paul just, that's what you want. You want a sure tackler. He plays a hybrid position, really. He's playing linebacker back there, but he's outside. And man, everything that comes his way is immediately either out of bounds or look at the distance he has to cover here. The guy can make a solid move. He squares him up and just immediately shoves him out of bounds.
Wow, that's the Heinz Law Jumbotron shot. That was sweet. Unbelievable, guys.
Great pass.
Oh, Gaffney really knifed him away from the tackle. First down. This kid's a player, Tom.
Yeah, he is. He's putting the ball where it's got to be, man. He really does a good job. There's not a lot of zip on the ball, but it's in the right location.
Look at the location. Bam. And then that little cut by Gaffney's really got good feet. .10:03 on the clock. Newsome now in the red zone. Looks to his left, throws the post behind it. Oh, what a great play by the receiver.
Great catch.
Forget about it.
Wow.
11, Jeremy Tolliver Jr. with just a great play.
Tolliver's missed a couple of passes that should have been caught over the middle. That ball was thrown behind him with, two defenders on him, and he just made a great catch. Strong hands to go up and just high point that ball and bring it in for the touchdown. That was a pretty amazing.
That was the kind of play, and Ken Burton would tell you, Steven Johnson would catch that kind of play every time. But if you had him wide open on a little 5-yard route, he might drop it. But what a hit there on the quarterback. Wait for him to hang in there, and that was number 40 for the Tigers. And yeah, that's Hamlin again. Wow. Oh, high snap. Great job by the holder. And it's good. So, yeah, you have to say, Michael Smith, the punter, even the public address picked that up, and the kick is up and good.
There you go. Here's that catch right there. High points it, gets hit from behind. Man, what a great catch. Strong hands.
Then he controls it all the way to the ground.
And, that entire drive aided completely by penalties on Palmetto. I mean, the one on the punt, I think that was a little ticky-tack. I'm not sure that was a penalty, but, Palmetto just continues to shoot themselves in the foot. You're up by 22 points, and you got control of the game. The clock's running. You run through the whole third quarter, and then you start making stupid plays and showboating a little bit.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, they're back in it.
They're back in it.
This is a solid team. This isn't a team that is going to lay down. They're well coached, and they're going to keep fighting and being efficient.
And Jeremy Tolliver is just a junior. And, one thing he can do from this game, we're not one of those pay-per-view gigs or whatever that is. He's going to be able to sample that.
That's right.
He's going to be able to put it on X. And we may be talking, you and I may be talking about it. Remember the time we called that game and the kid from Newsome made the great, Tolliver made the good. We may be talking about that 10 years from now.
We were just talking about LaJonte Wester returning a punt in the preseason for the Baltimore Ravens. He made the 53-man roster now, which is very exciting, but we were calling his punts for return touchdowns 5 or 6 his senior year, so you never know.
So this kicker who's had just an outstanding game, unfortunately I don't have him on the rosters, number 48. Number 48 is going to drive this one away, get a kick out of having great. It's an onside kick. Go get it. and Tigers may get lucky on this.
I don't know who that was, but he did not want the ball to touch him, whoever that Tiger was.
Well, the Tiger that played that was never a baseball player because you got to move in on that ball. He was bailing on that when it was rolling. Tigers get lucky on that one.
The ball. Wow,
let's get a look.
Definitely need that replay.
So when you got that roller coming to you and you're at third base, you got to come toward it. Watch him bail here at the end.
Get off me, ball. Get off me. Go get it.
And you know what? The Newsome player touched it first, but it looked like it did go 10 yards, so that was clean.
That's 88 Anthony Hill. He's a senior wide receiver, 6'3", 190. Anthony Hill. Get that ball, son.
It did make it 10. Yeah.
All right, so it's time for the Tigers to show that they can get on here and return and take back control of this game, run the ball, keep the ball inbounds, and get this clock and this game over.
Wow.
Nice move. Very nice. Hold on to that ball. Hold on to that ball.
Is that K-Ron? K-Ron.
He's having a good night.
Wow. K-Ron that should have gone for about a 2-yard gain on that. He picked up about 8 on the play. 9:33 on the clock. Hennessy's had a solid game.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's go to the Arctic Air sideline. So let's go to Whalen on this play call here. It's the 2nd and 3. Hennessy's got a good game going. We're establishing some run here. It's getting the third quarter. Is this one of those places where you go ahead and let the big, strong arm quarterback toss it down the field?
Yeah, they've been leaning on them all night, and this is where you cash that check. I think you just kind of hit them hard. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just take the ball, 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Yeah, I like this on 2nd down. Been successful on that. Just go ahead and let the big quarterback drop back there and let her eat and throw one 30, 40 yards down the sideline.
That's Gianni Fiore, who was down again. Just walked him off the side. I don't know if it's a reoccurring from that first injury. He was out.
That's a tough kid, right?
Yeah.
Gianni came back from that, huge hit. Great to see him even back out here in the fourth quarter. Keyron tonight has 16 carries for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns for the Tigers.
Wow.
And there's going to be more. So now he's got about 84 yards.
They're coming with these safety blitzes. This kid's blitzing from 12 yards back there. Very easy to see. It's not going to be too long before Palmetto sees that and says, hey, we're going to have a favorable matchup on the outside there. I mean, that was a 12 to 14-yard blitz if you watch.
Now going back to the play calling, 9 minutes on the clock here. Probably time to start running some of those wide running plays and just chew the clock up and get out of this thing with a decent win.
Stay in bounds. Slide down. Yep.
Wide side of the field runs, those kind of things. Runs the short side of the field, does Partridge, takes a big slobber, knocking off a hit by number 72, Ben Sanchez. But spun off that and then gained a little bit more. Brings up a 2nd and 7.
Sanchez looks like he's a pretty solid, formidable defensive tackle there. He's a pretty big guy, but he ran pretty well in that play.
Yeah, he's shown. There's a couple of surprises that you see out here. You'll see the quickness of offensive and defensive linemen, and it's surprising. 2 on the left, single on the right. Partridge, knifes.
Nice.
Cuts. First down.
Just don't spike the ball. Don't dance. We're good. There you go. And you love to see when you got 71 offensive linemen 15 yards down the field. He was blocking somebody out of the box. Awesome.
Yeah, Stephon Aristil, 6'5", 330. Media day, I was talking, and he didn't want to operate. He's so polite, and I'm thinking, kid, you could kill me if you wanted to kill me, dude. You're just a monster, and he is, but just a really sweet deposition and a bright kid, too.
Got a penalty for holding there.
Peanut Clemens doing his thing all the way down to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, that's coming back. That's going to be holding on number 12 to bust him out the side there. I didn't see it, but the coaches are, chastising him a little bit about it, so I'm assuming that was legitimate.
Oh, man.
This one right here on the right.
Yeah. I don't know. Luther
It
came
wasn't
across.
on him, yeah.
It went on Luther, okay. Hey, Waylon, at the Arctic Air sideline, what'd you see down there, brother?
Yeah, that looked like the right call. It was a little bit of holding down there, but man, they are starting to really pay off on down in the front of the defensive line for Newsome for sure now.
Yeah, later as this goes along, I know you've seen a lot of football in Florida this time of the year with all the humidity. About 5 o'clock on the clock in the fourth quarter, you'll cramp 30 will be the time here. You'll see the cramps kick in.
I think I'm about to get one up here in the booth. It's hot.
It's hot up here, isn't it, Tom?
Need a Gatorade.
Partridge. Man, good feet, Partridge, and he goes for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, he's been pretty impressive. I mean, he's. I'd like to see how many yards he's gotten tonight. He's moved the ball pretty well. We need 4 or 5 yards. He's pretty solid. Shane Partridge. He's a sophomore as well. 5'7", 170.
Yeah, and he's gained 15 pounds of muscle. He played free safety last year, or he was back there in the back half of the defense.
None of these backs are very big, but they're all very elusive and they're strong.
Nice hit by the mic. Coming up there.
61.
Handoff to Clemens. Tackle in the backfield.
There's no 61.
There is no 61. 81.
Okay.
Okay, 81 is Ryan Morin.
Playing linebacker with an 81.
I got a friend that's Moran, so probably Ryan Moran. At least that's my buddy. He has the same spelling last name. That was a big hit. So Hennessy at this point in the game, now there's a false start by Jock Harris, but in from Wilkie from Sarasota Herald. Hennessy, his next completion, if it was on this series, would be 15 straight.
That's impressive. Very impressive. And like I said, they've been some big ones. I mean, I'd be interested to see, the stats on Newsome quarterback as well. He's had quite a few completions tonight. What do we got here? It's, what is this, 3rd and mile? 17?
22, 3rd and 22. He's got him by the jersey.
Looks like he had him by the face mask,
It's
too.
clean. He had him underneath, right at the back of the number there, and come in and made a very strong-handed tackle.
I think that's probably the right call, up by 15 points.
Absolutely.
Get that clock running. We have a decent punter, or we have a really good punter that can put that ball. Maybe he can angle it a little better this time, get out of bounds, and play defense and maybe chew up the last 5 minutes of the game and get out here with a win.
Yeah, so 58 on the tackle. John Tesmer, a junior, showed his strong hands. Going back there to the return, this one is Trey Curatelli. Galloway to punt this one away. See if he casually rolls to the left on his kick here. Yes.
Ooh.
And he missed that one. He still kicked it up high. That's going to be hard to catch.
Oh, that's out of bounds.
It's out of bounds, so kind of missed that one. Kind of played with that one, too. He was trying to do that back English.
Well, plus they're on this hash mark, and they're kicking to this side.
Just missed it.
Not much room for error on that.
I mean, really, I think you need to get a new punter. What do you think?
Yeah, let's get rid of this kid.
That was horrible. He's trying to pooch it in there and use English. Yeah. And there are people out there that will troll us. You know, the haters.
Yeah, that's all right.
My favorite, haters gotta hate. You know, those guys that are trolling us right now. And why do they love this kid so much? Why we like him so much is he's really, really good. But they will troll on us.
What does Hennessy have? 2 passing touchdowns tonight? 3 passing touchdowns?
Passing touchdowns with Hennessy. Don't have the statistics in front of me. Let's see. I'm not sure, Tom.
Where's Steve Johnson when you need him?
I've been looking for Steve's stats all night long here.
The Atlanta studios must be
underwater. The Atlanta studios, you know, sometimes the internet, he may be working out of the second studio in Blairsville, Georgia, or Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
He's got, you know, two studios.
That's the annex.
That's the annex.
Yeah. Nice shot of our cheerleaders up here. There's 2 different groups of them. I'm not sure what the white uniform is versus the red. I don't know if that's the Dazzlers in the back or what used to be the Tigerettes.
But it's uniform. It's a good look.
Yeah.
It's
I'd like to see the Tigerettes come back. I like the Tigerette thing.
Oh, yeah. Ken Burton Jr. Shelley Burton was a cheerleader.
Yeah, my sister Tammy was as well.
Boy, 77. We really need to have height. Mark Smith is huge at right tackle. Gets it out there to Gaffney. And
nice.
Really good tackle out there.
Nice tackle.
That's got to be Zion Roberson. Yes.
Yep. That was a great tackle.
That is a rangy linebacker. He plays. There's no Mike linebacker. There's 2 interior linebackers, and he was covered a lot of ground. And Gaffney's really elusive. That kid is good. Soft cushion on this side of the formation. 2 receivers on both sides. Gets the ball out. It flies that one, and Paul Moore got a hand on that.
Yeah.
Really had an open Michael Zico out there, the junior, just overthrown.
Yeah, it was a great job by Moore breaking that pass up. I mean, we've been very close to a turnover a few times, and it's just a matter of time. They're going to get a little desperate here. So have to start throwing the ball even more. So we've got 3rd and what? Was that 6? 3rd and 7. 4th quarter, 4 minutes left.
Clock winding.
15, you know.
It'll start here. The incomplete pass. It's going to start with 4:19 on the clock.
Got the receiver isolated on the left side up there. See if they're going to him.
Gunther throws that one down the sideline. It looks like there was a lot of hand fighting. There's the call.
Yeah.
So that's going to be defensive holding on the play.
Yeah, I mean, less holding and more he just kind of shoved him a little bit there to stop his momentum. The referee looks like he's full of energy tonight. He just wants this to be over with. Look at him. Like, oh, my goodness, this is taking too long. It's so hot out here. Somebody give that guy water.
I just got a message from Steve Johnson and says you will get it, okay, as far as the test. So he's got some technical issues in Blue Ridge tonight. 4:13 on the clock. Incomplete pass and penalty stops the clock.
Well, Newsome knows that number 12 is a little bit of a mismatch for our defensive backs. He's a pretty tall kid and athletics, long arms. They're going to come back to that here. Or too long.
1st and 10. Luke's Gunther back there. Pistol depth. Twins on the right. Single left. Changing things up.
Love to see a sack. Get some pressure on the quarterback on this play.
Yeah, I gave him the minimalist approach so you could jump in there during the play, Tom.
I like it.
Picked off, and that's going to be number 6, and that's Jeremiah Presson. He's down the sideline, and he is in for 6.
It's a nice play. Nice play. You know they're going to be throwing the ball. You know, the coaches are just going to play the defense. They're going to play back a little bit, keep everything in front of them, just try to keep them in bounds. And quarterback just made a mistake, or the receiver did possibly, taking the wrong route, and 6 made them pay. That was a great play. Patterson's had a good game tonight.
You know, and the numbers continue to pile up. You think the half of football and then this game, full game, you know, it'll be a shame if they would leave that game as a win with only a half, because really you're seeing the numbers just piling up tonight for Hennessy.
Yeah, definitely.
Ferguson is the long snapper. Liam Harold with the hold.
Nice.
Oh, nice kick.
Nice
it is
snap.
up, and it is good.
So nice snap, nice hold. That's been pretty solid all night. The guy came off the right side, looked like he had a shot at blocking that, but maybe he wasn't as close as it appeared. Nice play.
Probably the pole position tonight with all these kicks. Minnesota flooring. Get a kick out of having a great-looking floor.
Chris Quattlebaum and the boys over there do a great job.
With Minnesota flooring.
Great job. Just talking to him today. He's another guy that supports so many things. Mr. Bob over there. Minnesota Flooring's always there, for any kind of, charitable events any school's having. They're always willing to step up and help out. They're big with the 4-H club out in Duet, and just great people. Very active at the county fair across the street. Minnesota Flooring. Go check them out.
So my hope is tonight that they're watching us from the official watch party location, The Cut. That is a great sponsor of ours. Head out towards Sneed Island. The Cut's over there on the right side of the road. And I hope they're watching it and enjoying this game tonight.
Have you checked that out? You got out there and played some golf? You got the little golf simulators?
A friend of mine at church gave me a beautiful set of golf clubs, and I haven't taken them in there and batted around. I will. It's a block or two away from my house.
Yeah.
Brandon Galloway will approach the ball, get a kick out of a great flooring with our friends at Minnesota Flooring. And that's a high kick. It's fielded inside the end zone. That was just, I do have a 7-iron in the back. That one was way up there, a coverage kick.
And being able to put it in the end zone consistently as you get into the playoffs, what a weapon that is. Because some of these teams you're going to play have just these athletic freaks who, if they can get the ball in their hands in some open space, they're going to make you pay. And to be able to put it, what was the team we played years ago? Was it Campbell? They ended up going to Florida State. And we said, whatever you do, don't kick the ball to him. And we were winning the game. We kicked the ball to him, just miskicked it, and he got it and ran it back. And, we lost the game. But it's a big weapon the further you get going down through the season here.
Not Luther Campbell, but it was Campbell.
No. Different guy.
I wanted to see if you bid on that one. 4:02 on the clock. Tigers with a 42-20 lead.
Wasn't Uncle Luke. Wasn't him.
Hennessy with the ball at the 15-yard line. Excuse me.
Not Hennessy, no.
I would have to correct myself, say there, Lucas Gunther with a long throw down the boundary.
All right, see, that's a better coverage there. He didn't like hold him, didn't bump him out of the way, but he did put his shoulder in a little bit and slow him down just enough to break it up.
I just, after the conversation about Luther Campbell, I got discombobulated there. Forgive me at home. So 3:56 on the clock.
That was number 22 in coverage, and I don't have him on my roster here.
On your Palmetto Tiger roster?
I don't have him.
Okay.
He's a small guy, but he was pretty quick. He stayed step for step with that receiver.
Four linebackers across there. Interior and outside linebackers. He looked for it, wanted to get a wheel route, not there. Now he rolls to the sideline, throws it late across the body, tipped, and a fine catch on the sideline out of bounds by Anthony Peanut Clemens, but incomplete pass.
That's going to bring up 4th and 10, right? Or was that 3rd and 10 now?
Hey, Waylon, that last pass over came down the sideline. Why didn't you pick that one off, man?
I was actually hoping I would get a little action on that one, but it didn't get to me.
3:49 on the clock.
3rd and 10.
3rd and 10. Big stop here for the Tigers. There's that big, you might just throw a jump ball to Jeremy Tolliver, number 11 in the slot. And he throws it out there, and there's
another interception. 21. Jeffrey Douglas
shakes out, and there's going to be a couple things going on. We may have had a defensive folding first. We had a crackback block, but Jeffrey Douglas there with a nice play.
Yep, defensive interference of some type. He's calling it over here. Pass interference.
Oh, brother, Tom, do you smell that barbecue coming through the
I do.
window here?
I do.
It's hurting me.
I didn't see the pass interference. There wasn't even anybody in the area. It may have been early on in the route.
I was thinking it was a defensive holding early on in the route.
It must have been. Although they're still talking about it back there. So, yeah, I don't know if it's the barbecue or the boiled peanuts or whatever they got going down there, but
that was good. Got the barbecue going. We're talking about peanut Clements. and then you toss in a Luther Campbell, and I'm off in another place. But it's been a fun night of football here. 3:37 on the clock. Tigers leading 42-20.
No pass interference on the Tigers. Going to be a first down for Newsome.
Right when this sideline starts to ripen down here, you guys are smelling barbecue up there.
Right, that's right.
It's a little different closer to the players, isn't it, Waylon?
You're getting whiffs of other things. We're getting the barbecue up here.
Much different ambiance.
Yeah.
Remember we talked earlier about, smelling something that takes you back in time.
It does.
Yeah.
It's two different things. You got the cow when it's the steak on the table up here, and
got a cow in the field.
Waylon's dealing with the cow in the field down on the field. Same animal. Different thing, different smells. 3:37 on the clock here. Tigers 42-20. Newsome with a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
It looks like Manatee High School benched their transfer quarterback. He came in as a highly touted transfer. I believe he was out of California, and it looks like Manatee's benched him at this point. Very interesting.
Note from Donnie Wilkie here, another thing to look out for, and the coaches will be talking about after this game. This game would be so much different if Palmetto didn't have 16 penalties for 170 yards.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
That's terrible.
Wow. After this play, I'll take that down to Waylon.
Wow, nice pass.
165 yards of penalties in one game for Pound. Waylon, let's pick it up. I mean, that's almost enough to make a preacher cuss, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a lack of discipline or what. They say you're either coaching it or tolerating it, and it looks like we've got some hot heads running around at times.
Look at Gunter sprinting to the left, throwing the ball across his body and putting the ball right on the money so the receiver can catch it just enough to go out of bounds. That's a great play.
Gunter's been good.
Yeah.
And they got
very consistent.
They got some people out here. Just need to put it all together, play a little bit tougher defense. Good play, Tolliver going down there making a fine catch. How about that one? I mean, we'll get a really good Arctic Air look here. And Waylon, that was right in front of you, but I mean, he scooped that one just inches off the turf.
Yeah, it was right in front of the ref too. It was a pretty good call.
Yeah. Hey, good catch.
Yeah. Close.
Homer. 2nd 5.
I'm always going to err on the side of Palmetto. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm one of those too.
I grew up in Newsome school district, but it wasn't a school when I was in high school.
There's a bunch of new ones.
See, that was because you're an old feller down there, Waylon.
Yeah.
Lucas Gunther rolls to his right, being chased by Moore.
That's what we've been missing all night is that pressure on the quarterback.
Now, and that's number 84 for the Tigers. I hope he's not on my roster. But that was a heads up. That's a young player coming up playing with the varsity. Sorry I don't have him. Number 84. Number 84. Let me check around the press box. Pick it up, Tom.
They're calling for intentional grounding. Coach Brizzleton is because he was being chased and the ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage. Doesn't look like they're going to pick that up. So, oh no, they are. It's coming back. And they're going to have to loss it down.
Apologize to the parents out there listening in, maybe from somewhere else or relatives. I did not get a number on 84, but very disciplined play. Not to pick up a penalty. Watch this.
Absolutely.
Right here.
Just stop.
Smart.
Yeah. You're putting the pressure on, making them throw the ball.
You're up 22 points.
Yeah.
That's one of those that, is an easy time to pick up a cheapie. And
3rd and 19.
Yeah, we've got enough penalty yardage tonight. 3rd 19. Ball's on the 40.
Luke was never very good at math.
Lucas Gunther throws it long. It's hanging up. What is?
Oh.
Okay, Palmetto Tigers.
No
Two
penalty.
defenders out there, no penalty.
Definitely should have been picked off there. I mean, it's easier to say that than to do it, but yeah, he was in position, and the ball was a little underthrown. Thought he had a really good shot to make that play.
Urbanick did a good job kind of posting two defenders out.
Yeah.
He really did, because you got a over and under coverage. Look at him. And reached back and got his hands in between.
Yeah, I think the receiver kind of helped pop that out of there.
He reached back. Yeah, he got his hand in there, became a defensive back.
All right, 4th down, 4th and 19.
Long ball down the sideline. Good looking route out there. Pretty good coverage. Tolliver out there. Really a tough task there for number 21 for the Tigers. Jeffrey Douglas. Good position.
Being down, 22 points at this point in the 4th quarter, they really don't have many options. They have to throw the ball. They have to stay near the sideline. Palmetto knew that was coming and was ready for it, obviously. So we turn the ball over on downs. Tigers will run the ball here and put this one away. 42-20 so far. So it's offensively, last week was 17-0, 42 points this week. The offense seems to be rolling pretty good. If we cut down to the penalties, 170 yards of penalties, which is just ridiculous. We could definitely be, this game could be over. We could have a running clock at this point if they would just, show a little discipline. But the coach is just as frustrated as we are with that. So.
But you can see on the Newsome guys, Stephen Barrios and Preston Collins out there. They haven't given up. They're not lying down. 72, Ben Sanchez. These guys, which you see in these type of games, they'll just lie down. But you can see that they're still playing it to the end, and that's great to see as
definitely.
a Newsome fan.
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, they're a good team. They're a solid team. I don't know that they're necessarily as athletic as Palmetto, but they definitely seemed disciplined and well coached. A little false start to just kind of drive the point home a little bit. Palmetto's got to tighten up, but a little false start is going to bring it up to 1st and 14 or so now, or 15. There you go.
2 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock. Hennessy hands the ball off to Partridge. Boy, good feet, Shane. Rolls, wow. Drives, go for a nice gain on the play. And now it's going to be a manageable 2nd and 6. 2nd 5.
That's a demoralizing play right there. You think you got them backed up a little bit. We're going to try to stop them and not let them drive down and score again. And then for him to just put his shoulder down and drive. The kid probably squats a house. He probably has those thick quads because he really didn't slow down very much at all in that run.
He reminds me of like a Wes Welker or Amadella, one of those kind of guys.
Yeah.
There he goes. Partridge driving forward, gets a good boost there by number 71. Yeah. You saw Stefan Aristil.
That's going to be a 1st down.
To push him over for those 6'5", 330.
And in the past, we've had a main, a feature back, and then you have a little change of pace person you bring in. But the Tigers are running 3, and they don't seem to be sticking with anybody in particular. They're giving everybody their fair shot at the ball, and obviously for health reasons, that's going to help us later in the season.
Well, you're piling up over 40 rushes in a game, and you're still absolutely fresh.
Yeah. They called it a 1st down. Now it still says.
Looks like that's a 1st down from the spot.
Just a little late flipping the marker over, so it is 1st down.
Yep. There, and then kneeling this one is Matthew Hennessy. So 1:04 on the clock. The Tigers are going to just take this in the victory formation and kneel this one out. Afterwards, after the game, Waylon, if you would, hustle up, get out there, see the coach. He's going to do his thing with the players. We'll do a post-game interview, and then Tom and I will talk, and we'll wrap this bad boy up. A really impressive win tonight as the clock winds down. Hennessy has really just one more snap.
I got to tell you, I know it's early and I don't want to get too excited. You know, we're Tiger fans. But this quarterback, you know, we've had some good quarterbacks here over the last 10 years or so.
Yeah.
He stands out to me a little bit, to be honest with you. You know, reminisce a little bit of Derek Marino, Anthony Marino, and Derek when they were here. Anthony Marino at quarterback. This kid, he's a smart player. He's a smart quarterback. He's putting the ball where it's got to be. Running when he needs to run. Last week, you remember, there was an opening and there was a receiver open, but he could run it in, and it was the right move just to run the ball in. He's just a smart kid. He's very cerebral, and he's got the skills. And like I said, if he could start the game out with a tighter spiral and a more, better trajectory on his passes early, Tigers could really get up early and really be playing, clock management in the second half of every game.
Oh yeah, I'd like his last 11 passes to be a little cleaner but they were all completions. So maybe I'm.
No, that was early. Early, I'm talking about.
All right.
But yeah,
thank you, Don.
Thanks, sir. Did we ever end up with the total stats for him there?
We should have statistics rolling in from our Atlanta studios.
Yeah, I'm interested.
The Blue Ridge division here tonight. But a fun game for us tonight, and I apologize to the Newsome fans. Those LED lights were washing us out with these jerseys.
Yeah.
That happens when we get the lighter jerseys on white.
What I did like about tonight, although we did have way too many penalties tonight, I did like there wasn't any fights. There was nobody, there wasn't personal fouls in that manner. It was like showmanship, people spinning the ball or making dumb plays. But everybody had good sportsmanship otherwise, and this Newsome team came in and played hard. They're a relatively new school from what I understand. They're up there in Fishhawk, which I always thought was a weird name for a city, but
they're I was thinking they were like 16550 Fishhawk Boulevard, Lithia, Florida.
What's the area code on that?
Area code, I would have to say 813, and the zip code would probably be
33547.
Thank you.
Dash 3820.
Waylon, thank you for helping me out here, brother. So as the Tiger Band plays, that's a song I'm very familiar with. I do not know the lyrics, though, of the
Here's to all the victories. Here's to all we've done.
Make it stop. It's like water.
Here's to the glory the Tigers won.
There you go.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers, 42-20 here.
I bet Bill Britt knows that song.
Bradenton Christian alumni. I'm sure he would, right? I'm sure he would. Speaking of alumni,
he was rich. I mean, come on.
That team where let's get down there with the coach, and then maybe we might be able to pick up what Coach is saying down there as he rallies the troops.
Maybe Waylon can get close enough to the coach with that microphone so we can pick it up. Hey, Waylon, go ahead and turn that mic on, see if you can catch him. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He'll keep it clean.
All right, doesn't sound like we're going to be able to pick up what he's saying from that distance. But, obviously, what he's saying. Man, we had great execution. The offense really got going. Defense stepped up when they needed to. But the penalties, that's going to be the message this week to these kids is these stupid penalties. You're shooting yourself in the foot. If we're playing a team that is more athletic or is making, more plays than this Newsome team did, we very well could lose this game. And when you look at it, the reason why would be those penalties, unforced penalties. Now, if you're playing aggressively and you jump off sides, everybody understands that's going to be part of the game. But spinning the football and throwing the football down and, just the dumb penalties, we really got to tighten that up. And I feel like Coach Sanders has gotten the culture here. It's improved quite a bit over the last 2 years here. And I really think we're heading in the right direction. But, yeah, it is frustrating for the coaches. At the end of the day, we pulled it off 42-20, so you can't be upset about that. But, man, it could have been a lot better. It could have been a lot quicker. It could have been a lot earlier.
And we'll see if our Arctic Air Sideline reporter, Waylon Slayball, will be able to catch up with the coach here. And we're going to test the range of the system here. Tom, you know a little bit of something.
Coach is still handling the boys for a second.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that piece of technology, and I don't think we're going to catch it from over here.
So, Waylon, if you listen to the little coaching clinic by Tom Porter there's some kind of trick with the antenna. And good luck, brother. That is beyond my pay grade.
Coach Sanders does have a beautiful head of hair, doesn't he? Look at that.
He does, man.
Kind of Lorenzo Lamas-esque. You hear the band out here playing still, just having a good time. The band has improved pretty greatly this year.
All right, guys, I got Coach Sanders here with me now. Coach, tell me about that quarterback play. He had a pretty great game.
He's doing everything we ask him to do. Very calm, poised, every single day. So very thrilled how he's performing right now. He keeps working. He's going to continue to get better. So hopefully he keeps playing this way.
What's the focus on Monday?
Clean up all the penalties. I mean, we're going to get tougher games moving forward now. We got a 3-week tough stretch here that we got to clean things up. So that'll be the focus on Monday.
Your defense did a pretty good job today. What's some ways in which you hope to see them improve?
They're flying around, doing a great job as far as like swarming to the ball and making big plays. I think overall, just as a team, we got to be more consistent, down to down, play to play. Sometimes we have a blunder here, and we got to get rid of those.
Lots of good things to be hopeful for. Thanks a lot, Coach. All right, take care.
Hey, Waylon, thanks for the fantastic job with the Arctic Air Sign Line report tonight. Tom, let's wrap this thing up. Give your final commentary, and we'll wrap it up.
Well, it's pretty simple. We're seeing some great things out of this Tiger offense. This quarterback, starting with the quarterback, has done just a phenomenal job in operating this offense. They seem efficient. They seem organized. Not a lot of delay games. We did have one tonight, but not. They seem like they're clicking on most cylinders at this point. Quarterback play has been phenomenal. Offensive line's done a good job of keeping him upright. They're really playing pretty well. It could only get better from here, but defensively, I was pretty happy with the defense tonight. I thought they played pretty well. There was a couple of long passes that we gave up, but a lot of that has to do with the player on the other side of the ball. I mean, the quarterback did a good job of throwing the ball up, and 11 was just going up and grabbing them. So sometimes there's just not much you can do. But
players make plays.
That's it. And then when you get the opportunity, they made the play. So overall, offensive, defensively, special teams, pretty good. We had the punt return or the kickoff return for a touchdown. That's pretty exciting to see that come to fruition. And there's some things we can clean up. But overall, this was a great win by Palmetto, and it's a great start to the season.
Well, Tom, I'll wrap it up. I want you to thank all the Tiger fans and all the football fans from all across the United States and across America for watching us live here tonight on TigerVision as presented by Conley Buick GMC. Tonight's final score, the Palmetto Tigers 42, the Newsome Wolves 20. And we will look forward to next week. Palmetto Tigers travel to Sarasota Riverview. We're going to be off that week. But the following week, we have the North River rivalry here at Harllee Stadium as we square off against the Parish Community High School. We once again thank you all for tuning in to TigerVision. Thank you for the production staff of Clicking Spree, and we will catch you next week. I'm Brian Varnador, joined by Tom Porter and Waylon Slaybach tonight. We appreciate you listening in. One town, one team, go Tigers.